hostage, smooth soul flow. Let's go barlastic and make a classic. Cornflakes poured towards the bowl before frosted flakes for so broken until will gathered shattered glass. Reforming profile divided, realign whole before foe, known as last acts that make taking fatal mistakes. My eyes lie like my life beside fire's desire, burn up, engulf our world with witnessing me succeeding, achieving deeds deemed beaming out bright in sunlight like while motions of forms, lower life forms, the forms decompose while they declare days be named. Name paper displayed birth date, age of conforming and confirming to consumers or consumed. Reflections of directions for conforming, favoring orders over solo devotion as individualism transitions to mimicking capitalism. Yo, smoke forms during sour burning celery greenery. Steam leaves leaders blind while guided by flaming haze. Paves the way where fear be dreaming. Failures lure drooling fools, ignoring isolation of playing main character. Acts attracts, chasing validation of others rather than self-deflection of reflecting. Habits given then earned, not a cap and statin plays that happen. No Pinocchio, so no nose growing. Adorn words flowing, fountain of youth found out in corruption, damning man's path, gathering stats that never ask questions, all dispersing rewards, pursuing curiosity over currency. They claim same flames, though pyro for shows, no explosion for war, rather than darts that tag marks, not a talking optimist, hit missiles that miss, leave you all spark, past tense of offense, body leaning on reaper, sickle slices, wide dimensions where frames lay, place decay, they care prior going upwards or downwards forever. They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of this place.
If you're a guy and you've never attracted a gay man in your life, or you don't have gay men trying to hit at you, or maybe you go somewhere and it might be a few gay people and they're making eye contact with you, chances are you're probably not as attractive as what you think you are. I cannot tell you that every single attractive guy has to some degree attracted gay men, not just one, but like all the time. That goes with social media and dating apps too. If you got gay dudes consistently hitting you up, sometimes more than straight women, then you might want to readjust your image and how you're presenting yourself to the world. But it's also a clear sign too, an affirmation that you're probably a lot more handsome than what you actually think you are. If you're an ugly or unattractive guy, you're probably never going to have any sort of gay men trying to get at you.
Yeah, yo, let's go, man. Yo, check it, man. Haze lace, frosted flakes, why I'm verbalizing with Tony the Tiger. Mind live wire, describing my strife for life. More visible than tiger stripes. Play the tape, prepare to be amazed. Birthplace, insane asylum. Mama pumped me out the womb, whooped me with my umbilical cord. Before you know, roping it, noosing me. Crows took off the umbilical cord, so I know beating me with pieces of me. For letting it be known, it's closet for recruiting out of pocket to closet recruit dudes. Playing straight, raiding faces, old wannabe closet close. In closet volunteering to make up male faces. Before powdering them nuts, claiming masculinity when seeking need touching. Other men need touching in the closets. What they seeking to recruit you for? They seeking to need touch other men in the closet. They anticipating the day I'm uninformed for my funeral, so during an open casket they may face me when I can't combat them attempting to closet my corpse. Wake facing decapitated faces of dudes whose hobbies be face raiding male faces, claiming they straight. Why my footwear never matches, always wearing different faces. I've decapitated to be laced, paid where? As I pay another day paying Satan's saints with visits with neck dividers, slices sharper than shards of Savannah cat claws. Under the sun puffing blunts while behind pyro shows of homes I've burned. Used to belong to dudes I'm wearing as shoes. Used to confuse my kindness as anti-violence until my finger pulled the triggers before they triggered silence by silencers, piercing through your whole form before forever ghosting. No console for seeking to see enemies die like mice beside vipers and felines. I the predator that makes prey decay. Snowflakes amaze beside I oozing awesome aura, as though Moses for parting seas of sheeple to stand apart. Used to burn blunts of herb with my bros, though. Let me check if the audio's.
How does it feel to be a man and being worthless?
I guess building society is worthless, but I just can't help it as a man.
I have something more important to do. My fans need a new selfie.
Yep. Give me 1 minute. Let me just check the audio quick. Give me 1 second. God damn. Check the audio. Should be good. Give me 1 minute. Let me check something. Let me check the audio. Give me 1 second. Let me check the. Dang, I forgot I was muted. Yeah, my bad. Thank you, man. Thank you, Kalala, my bad. Yeah, but I had to I said, I haven't streamed in a while, been handling some things. And it's men's mental health, man. Men's mental health. So, you know, I said to myself, let me knock out a stream, man. Let's knock out a stream before the end of June. I got some big announcements also, But here's one announcement I want to share. I tagged it online. You can now, because I thought about it, YouTube suspended my what they call a monetization. And it ain't, the thing is this, dude, you don't get paid much money from views anyway on YouTube, but there were some people that were supporting me publicly, that want to support me publicly. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just create a GoFundMe to help me back up the channel, because I got to upload some of the content on a website. But most importantly, I realized something. Why would YouTube just unmonetize me, delete a few videos? YouTube even sent me a personal message a year ago about how much of a bad person I am. You know what I'm saying? Then it clicked. Then I realized what was going on. They don't want people like me to be supported publicly, because I've gotten some cash apps here and there and stuff like that. But the way I look at it, what's important is people being able to support you publicly. You know what I'm saying? Being able to support you publicly versus the alternative route of it being hidden. Because what YouTube wanted was to silence people's ability of supporting a guy like me publicly. Because when people were doing super chats and all that, it was raising the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? It was basically saying, you know what, a guy like Hold the Truth Hostage speaking about men's health and helping men, you know, get the algorithm to push that message, you know, get the algorithm to actually make that a positive, you know what I'm saying, versus hiding it and shadow banning it. Cause I mean, Tommy Lauren made a new video saying all men are garbage again. You know, you go online on YouTube all day, monetize channels every hour saying men are trash. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Krishan was good, man. Yo, what's good, Moby? Your Casper Pill videos changed my life, dog. You're a true philosopher. Thank you, man. Yo, thank you very much, man. You know, these are the type of words, brother. Means a lot. Thank you so much, man. You know, thank you, man. I'm gonna keep that. Truly means a lot, man. You know, this is also why I did it. And you know, because he brought up the Casper pill, man, I also want to make an announcement that July 6th, you know, will be Casper Pill Day. I mean, will be full-time Ghost Day. You know what I'm saying? Full-time Ghost Day will be July 6th. You know what I'm saying? I put it on with my own birthday. You know, you know what I mean? I said, you know what, man? You know, we used to have Black Pill Day, which was it was May 20th was Black Pill Day, but you know, because of all the conflict and everything going on, you know, Black Pill Day wasn't picked up. You know, I told a lot of people in the manosphere we have a lot of infiltration. You know, there's a lot of guys claiming to be black pilled when they're dark gray pilled, they're doomers. Uh, you know, there's a lot of guys that took on that name that did so much damage that you can't even really search the black pill anyway. You know what I'm saying? You search black pill on YouTube, there's a high chance you will find a guy crying. You'll find a guy telling you you need to, you know, strength, you need to go get surgery to make your bones longer. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the homie Cashin said. Yeah, I downloaded your Casper Pill series to my computer and my Google Drive. My man, respect, man. I always tell people, bro, feel free to download this stuff, man. You know, YouTube doesn't want guys like me on here. You know, YouTube doesn't want any man. A lot of these platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they don't want men that present uh the truth as an option, you know, as a happy option. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people online are telling men, you got Andrew Tate, all men are tortured, all men are suffering. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys are so called claiming to be telling you the truth, and their truth is all about the truth. Their perspective on the truth is men are suffering, men are sad. The truth is, no, men are happy, man. Men are happier than they've ever been. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that. They don't want us to know that men are good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, clean my room. Clean my room. You're talking about Jordan Lee Peterson. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Lee Peterson wants you to clean your room, man. But what happened is, bro, they don't want guys to be telling you the truth and saying, dude, you're gonna be happy. You're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna wake up. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You got a choice. You got a choice. You know, you get Andrew Tate, you had Kevin Samuels, you got all this red pill content, these doomers, all these guys that keep telling you you gotta feel sorry for yourself. You gotta wake up. Oh, it's so bad to be a man in 2025. No, bro. Right now, we are reaching uh we are reaching a new golden age of manhood. You know what I'm saying? And this stream, my goal is to show you that we've never been better. A lot of this feminist stuff, a lot of this anti-male stuff, it's only helped men out. You know what I'm saying? A good example I'm gonna talk about today is AI. I'm gonna talk today about AI and actually show you that they've pushed men towards AI. There's no coming back, man. The days of us not being entertained are gone. Let me find something quick online. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna show you something. You know, cause where's YouTube? Let me see. Bigfoot. You know, I'm gonna show you something quick that I've been saying this for a while. You know, dude, we are free, man. It's never been better to be a man. You know, we men are free. Think about it. Think about what society has been telling us men since the 2010s. And especially now in the 2020s, it's been telling us men, unless you make six figures, unless you're 6 foot, unless you what is it, 666, the triple six figures, what I mean, six inch snicker bar, 6 feet in height, you're a failure. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the homie said. Moby, I watched the anime movie Afro Samurai. It showed me life of the red pill uh conscious black man's life. Go to watch that movie. Yeah. Oh no, I watched Afro Samurai, bro. I watched that a while ago. Afro Samurai. It was the first movie. It was pretty good, man. Not bad. You know what I mean? But to get back on point, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. We men are free, man. I've been telling guys this for what is it now? Over 5 years. We're free. You know, that's why I went to Casper Pill full time ghosting. We are free. They're telling men right now, unless you have six figures, you're 6 feet tall, you got a 6 inch Snicker bar, whatever, YouTube, Rumble, whatever. Unless you're holding a triple sixes, you should just you can avoid divorce. You don't have to get married. Think about it, man. They basically told men, unless you have 666, you shouldn't get married. And think about it. There's a lot of guys below 6 feet are like, so you're telling me because I didn't grow to be 6 feet tall, I shouldn't get married. That's right. That's right. If you're below 6 feet tall, you shouldn't get married, my guy. Oh, if you make less than six figures, you shouldn't get married. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't date, you shouldn't get married. And if, you know, I don't talk about men's private parts. I'm not Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying? But they've basically trained a lot of men and given men reasons not to date, not to get married. They've psychologically trained guys for over, what is it now, bro? Over 15 years. So all the 2010s to about now. So about 15 plus years, they've been telling men how you don't qualify to get married, how you don't qualify to get divorced. Unless you're making six figures, you're 6 feet tall, you know what I'm saying? You don't qualify for marriage and you don't qualify for dating. And the average man is making what, 45 figures, 40,000 to about $80,000 a year. So the majority of men do not qualify to risk their lives to divorce. They've been training guys to avoid marriage, man. And the message they've been teaching a lot of men is that they've made a lot more men accept it, you know. And here's the thing they tell you. So check this out. So if you're not planning to get married, right? You're not planning to get married, you're not planning to have children domestically, what are you going to do? You're going to just enjoy yourself more. You're just going to go spend your money. I don't know. You might be collecting some Pokemon cards. You might go gaming. You might go fishing. You might go traveling. They've basically told men to prioritize yourself and prioritize your life about enjoying yourself. That's really what they've done these past 15 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's working out so well that I think in the black men, over 60% of black men aren't dating, aren't having children. I think in the white sector, you have potentially over 40% of white guys aren't dating or trying to pursue it at all. You know what I'm saying? And the white guys and the black guys, they're gonna align. You know what I'm saying? It's a wealth gap issue, it's a political issue. For example, I'll give you an example if you're white right now, you know. There's some white guys that are being pressured to get married as we speak. So if you're a white guy and your uncle happens to be a judge, right? Your uncle's a judge and he tries to set you up in a relationship, you don't want to lose access to the networking of the judges. So what's happening to a lot of the white guys when it comes to marriages, they're being put on the line. It's either you get married or you lose access to these networks. You lose access to your uncle that's a judge. You lose access to your father that's a lawyer. You lose access to the company, your family company, and so on. There are some guys that are being forced, they're being given an ultimatum. Either you marry, you get into a long term relationship, or you don't inherit the family business. You know what I'm saying? You don't inherit the family business. You don't get access to the family network and the family tools. So there's a lot of guys that are being pressured to get married right now by their family members that are of a higher stature. You know what I'm saying? You know, so a lot of guys now have to literally choose between divorce, between marriage, or getting disowned. There's a lot of guys that have to make that choice. You know, they don't talk a lot. They don't talk about this a lot in the manosphere that some men, your resources are on the line. You know, some guys got married out of an arranged situation of, man, if I don't get married, I lose access to potentially 500,000 to $1 million, or the family resources. You know what I'm saying? I lose access to it. So a lot of guys are getting married right now because they want to stick to they want to keep access to the family resources. Even though, you know, with a divorce, they're going to lose that anyway. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of guys, man, have some are being forced into marriage. You know what I'm saying? There's an ultimatum. Either you get married or you lose access to the family resources. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of guys are having to make that choice. But like I said, but right now, like I said, I got a GoFundMe, man. Feel free if you want to support because I'm about to back up all the content. I got to upload it all on my personal website. But now you could support me publicly, you know what I'm saying, without needing to hide. Because that's why YouTube cut the monetization. It took me a while to figure it out. Like, why would they still keep my channel alive when they just deleted and cut all the monetization? Let me see what the homie said. Uh, yeah. Women are married to the government, state, police, and church. Yeah. Well, you bring that up. When you bring up women are married to the government, here's the thing: a lot of men, and you know, I'm about to get a little racial, but this is for like a message for the black guys that, you know, blacks, minorities, whatever. So when you marry a woman, let's say she's black or brown, whatever. When you marry that woman, she calls the cops on you. Whatever happens isn't racist anymore. You know what I'm saying? There is no such thing as a racist police officer when the person who called the police was a black woman, when the person who called the police was an Indian woman, when the person who called the police was a Latina. You know what I'm saying? That's the loophole. That's the loophole to you getting your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Is that they've weaponized your own women so much that now they're so attached to the state. You know what I mean? Whatever happens to you from that police officer, it wasn't racism. You know what I'm saying? Because, yo, how could it be racist if a black woman called the police to whoop your ass? You know, how could it be racist if an Indian lady called the police to whoop your ass? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that's happening. Like we've seen a lot of those videos where the cops end up beating somebody or 6 feet. That's the new slang right now. 6 feet. They put a guy 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? And that happens because the women call the cops. You got to think about it, man. And this is where let's get away from race right now. Think about it as a man. As a man, think about it. Think about it that a woman could call the cops on you. And remember, these cops have guns. These cops are armed. Think about it as a man, whether you're black, white, as a man. Think about it. They can call the cops on you to that are armed, and the cops come. If the cops make it there, your life is on the line. You know what I'm saying? And depending on that cop, let's say that cop is a full-blown simp. You know what I'm saying? He's a simp officer or he's a pink-pilled officer. He already hates men. You know what I'm saying? He's already ready to take you out, man. You know what I'm saying? To take you out. So a lot of the police, when they come in, bro, think about it. Think about a lot of guys don't think, bro. Think about it. A woman could call the cops. And then if she calls the cops, there's no punishment. There's no fines. You know what's funny when I think, because I don't got my car no more after the car accident. I lost my car or whatever. I'm working on getting a new one. But there's a big complaint that the cops do not make enough money, right? There's a big complaint that the police officers don't get enough money and resources. But think about how much money the police would make if there was a fine. If there was a fine that whenever women call the cops for no reason, they would get fined potentially 100 to two, potentially $500. Let's say there was a $500 fine if a woman called the police for no reason. $500 fine. You know what I'm saying? Think about that, bro. And then ask yourself, why isn't there a fine for when the police are called by a woman for no reason? Let me show you what the homie put right here. Let me see what the homie put. You said a misandrous police officer. Yeah, that comes. But this is why the homie Krishan, women are married to the government, state police, and church. Think about it, bro. How come there isn't a fine when the police are called by women for no reason? Think about it.
Oh, my brother, testify.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it, man. That shows you how tied, how strong the relationship between the police, the government are with the women. That there is literally no fine for falsely accusing or wasting police resources. Think about it. A woman calls the cops because she thinks her man is cheating on her. You know what I'm saying? These are the police that have to protect the community. You know what I'm saying? They're wasting gas. They're wasting all this money to show up to this house for no damn reason. Yet there isn't a fine. But me and you accidentally park in the wrong location, that's a $50 fine. But if someone calls the cops for no reason, no fine. I guarantee you, bro, if there was $1,000 fine for calling the police without cause, I guarantee you most women would not be calling the cops like they're doing right now. You put $1,000 fine on wasting the police, you would not see women calling the cops for no reason anymore. And then I'm gonna show you something, man. I'm gonna show you something. A woman said, give me 1 minute. A woman said this. Let me go find it quick. Give me 1 second. Let me look for it. Give me 1 minute. Let me see. Woman says call police. Where is it? Woman says men are submissive. Let me see. Damn, I can't. I gotta find the video, but there's a woman that said men are submissive once you call the police. Let me try to find this video quick to show you guys. Give me 1 minute. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think I found it. Give me 1 second to see if I have the video. God damn YouTube, man. All these damn, let's see, where is it? Where is it? No, that's another video. Let me find this video quick. Give me 1 second. Oh, I think I found it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you guys. Because you gotta see this, man. Let me find the video. Give me 1 second. God damn it, man. Fucking YouTube's acting up. YouTube's acting a little slow. Give me 1 more second. I think I have it. Come on. Freaking YouTube. Give me 1 second. Gotta find this video. Oh, man. Yeah, hold up. Yeah. Damn, I don't think I can find the video. But, there is a, where is it? Give me 1 second. Oh, I think I have it. I think I found the video. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there it is, guys. I found the video. Give me 1 second, man. Check this out. You're gonna love this video. Check this out quick, man. Yeah, all cops. Well, I mean, there's the thing that's happening with the police is that, you know, I learned this the hard way that the cops don't have a line. The police officers don't have a line, man. When you're a police officer, you don't have a line like the citizen. You know, that's one of the problems. But check this out, guys. Let me share this with you. Check this out. Let's go rewind it a little. Let me make it a little bigger. So check this out, man.
Police and turning absolutely. These types of videos.
Watch how submissive they get. They
Had posts number clarity, and he kept it moving.
Men are naturally submissive. All you got to do is call the police on them. Watch how submissive they get. They might even cry.
You see that? Did you see that? You know what I'm saying? Did you see that, man? Yeah, bro. Kalala, you see that, man? Let me replay that for y'all, man. This is what you have to date, man. This is This is what they tell you. You're alone. You're lonely, and you need this risk in your life.
Men are naturally submissive. All you got to do is call the police on them. Watch how submissive they get. They might even cry. Call the police on them. All you got to do is call the police. All you got to do is call the police.
And he kept it moving.
All you got to do is call the police on them. All you got to do is call the police on them. Watch how
Moving.
men are naturally submissive. All you got to do is call the police on them. Watch how submissive they get. They might even cry.
You see that? Did you watch that? Did you see that? You know what I'm saying? The dude, yeah, Kalala, you saw that? You know what I'm saying? You know, women love white knights, Captain Save-A-Holes, like, you know, well, I gotta be careful with that word. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But as you could see, this is what's happening, bro. And I remember, I don't know if y'all remember that bodybuilder. There's a bodybuilder, because some people watching this might think, oh, this is a racial thing. No, bro, there's a bodybuilder that his wife called the cops on him. And if he didn't have the camera footage, he would have been in jail. This is what's happening, man. And a lot of these women, there's a lot of guys online that say, yo, a lot of these women are dating thugs and former drug dealers and guys in prison. Why? A lot of these women, I was watching a video where a guy explained that women will openly target a man with a criminal record because now she could control him by calling the cops. All she got to do, he's on parole. She calls the cops once and that man is done. He's going to jail. So a lot of these guys that come straight out of prison, the woman will offer him a home, food, and feed him, and he's trapped. It's like a black widow. They get him in the web, and he's a former guy in prison, and now she has him. She can call the cops anytime. If she reports anything, he's done. Think about it. He's on parole. Think about if he's on parole for the next 6 months, a year, 2 years on parole. One call from the cops and that guy's done. There's a lot of women like her that are targeting drug dealers, guys that went to jail, so they could call the cops on them. And you see her tatted up, tattoos everywhere. And they will call the cops on a man and lock him up and imprison him. You know what I'm saying? The cycle continues, man. The women are the agents of the government to get the men locked up, you know? So there are women like her. A lot of guys are like, man, how come a woman is targeting or getting with all these former prisoners, former jail guys? Because they'll have absolute control. That man becomes like a toy. Like if she tells a guy on parole, jump, he's going to be how high? How high? You know what I'm saying? Especially if she's housing him. She can falsify a police report, and that guy who's on parole, he's done. He's done, bro. You know, this is what's going on here. This is what's going on in the dating scene in America. Yeah, bro. A lot of these women are hunting former prisoners. A lot of these guys think, "Oh, I got it good." Then she shows herself and tells him she could get him locked up anytime, man. He's done. He becomes like a toy, an action figure. And think about if she has STDs, she's still sexually active at the bars and clubs. And a lot of women right now, because we're in the words of Ludacris, you know what I'm saying? Ludacris, who predicted this, you know, in a whole society. You know what I'm saying? We're in a whole society, a thought society, whatever, 304 society. Yeah, that actually sounds better. 304 society. That's what we're in, man. A lot of these chicks are raised to just be nothing but sexual objects. And I'm about to touch up on something very important right now. Give me 1 second. Let me
If you are a bear and have been inappropriately touched by a modern woman, call 1-800.
Bears
never's been touched.
You know what I'm saying? So now there's something I want to talk about that a lot of men are not aware of. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men just don't know how to answer this. So we hear a lot of women saying you need to have six figures, you need to have all this money, right? You know, that's what we hear. We hear a lot of that. And you know, if you don't have that, we already know if you're a Chad or a Tyrone, you know, she'll sleep around with you, whatever, might even have your kid and throw you away. You don't need that money to get access to her sexually. You know what I'm saying? But there's something a lot of men don't understand. And I covered this years ago, you know what I'm saying? Where I told a lot of guys that the marriage rate is dropping. You know, women now are losing their value. I think a woman at 25, 25 is the new 30. You know what I'm saying? Let me repeat that. 25 is the new 30 because a lot of guys are like, okay, she's 25, not married, not in a long-term relationship. She's damaged goods. You know what I'm saying? How can you be 25 years old and you're not in a long-term relationship? You're not married. Something is wrong with her. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women don't understand that with this internet stuff, their opportunities, they're hitting the wall even sooner. You know what I'm saying? They're hitting the wall, in my estimation, by 25. 25, if a woman is out and about, you know, still sleeping around, hasn't gotten married and so on, she belonged to the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at 25, what is 25? You know, 25 is 5 years from 30, but no one really counts that 5 years. Guys are really looking at by the time she's 27, by the time she's about 27, in the eyes of most men, she's already 30. You know what I'm saying? She's already 30 when she's 27. That's how guys are looking at it. But what's happening with all this technology is the women don't understand that they're aging even faster. In the not physically, but you know, but from a male's perspective. Think about it. We got Tinder, we got all these apps. Men are now estimating, and I was saying this a long time ago, that men are running what I call the dating simulation. Years ago, I said this. But men are now looking at it and saying, bro, if she's 25, let's say she was 18 to 25, and she was averaging two guys a week. Two guys a week from the age 18 to 25. Let me do the math, man. Let me do the math quick on this computer. You know what I'm saying? Let's do the math. So if she was averaging two dudes, let's say about 4 times a week, that's about that's 8 guys. Now multiply those 8 guys times 12. Boom, that's 96 guys a year. 96 guys a year if she's sleeping with two guys every week. You know what I'm saying? Now you multiply that, let's say she's 18, so let's say 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So let's say about times 8. Let's multiply 96 times 8 years. That's 768 men. You know what I'm saying? That's 768 men. If she averages sleeping with 2 men a week, that's 768 men in 8 years. You know what I'm saying? That's 768 men in 8 years. If you multiply by 8 years. So men are now looking at women and saying, bro, if she's 25 and not married, it's over. It's done. You know what I'm saying? It's over. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're heading towards 26 to 27, which is basically about age 30. You know what I mean? So guys, I remember was it that OnlyFans model slept with 1,000 guys in one day or whatever. You know what I'm saying? One day she slept with 1,000 guys. You know, let me see what the Omi Kalala said. So you also have to multiply all the other people those men have been in contact with. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing is a lot of these women think they'll be sleeping with a guy that he hasn't just slept with another woman. You know what I'm saying? And then you add in the fact that STDs have gone rampant. They said in Texas alone, in Philadelphia, HIV has gone up by 18,000. 18,000 people have caught HIV. And a lot of that has happened because we're in a culture now. And this is where I say the most dangerous thing for a man is, especially in this culture, is lesbianism. You know, lesbianism is very dangerous. It is a very dangerous aspect of our culture right now, is the constant promotion of lesbians. You know what I'm saying? STD apocalypse. Oh yeah. Dude, STDs are being caught like a discount right now. You know what I'm saying? Sleep with one woman, get an STD free. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming like a prize. But what's happening is let me see, I can tag you on Discord right now and show you a good photo. Yeah, yeah. Yo, bro, do that, man. I think I'll be able to share it. I think I can share a Discord photo. So let me see where you at on this. Yeah, 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 dude. By all means, do that. I'm on there. I can share the image of the Discord. I just can't share video. Video won't play the audio. But basically, I'm gonna tell you guys something, man. Lesbian culture is dangerous. It is probably, they've done the research and found out a lot of the STDs, the majority of them come from the women. The women are the ones sharing the STDs all over. Think about it, bro. Think about lesbian culture and how dangerous this is. It used to be like a bonus when you hear a woman was like, you know what? She'd be into kissing another woman. You know, it was a rarity. You know, it was something special that was rare. But now, bro, in this culture, it is dangerous because there's a lot of women that are now sleeping with their best friends. Their best friends who are whores. You know what I'm saying? Their best friends who have more STDs on them than caves in Minecraft. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women now that will just eat out and have sex with their friends that are just filled with STDs, man. Oh, all right. Oh, you said sent. All right, let me check that out. Give me a minute. Let me share that. I don't see the image for some reason. Give me 1 minute. Sometimes this crap. I don't know. I don't. Give me a minute. Let me see. For some reason, I can't see the image. Oh, I see it. Oh, I see the image. Oh, I got you. I got you, man. Let me share this on the channel. Share this on the YouTube. Give me 1 minute. Let's share the screen window. Yeah, yeah, there it is. Look at that, man. Look at what the homie let me shrink myself. Look at what the homie shared, man. Sexual exposure. You know what I'm saying? A man, and you got to think about it. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. So a man is probably going around, one woman, you know what I'm saying? Then the women are sharing men, you know what I'm saying? That's three. Then it just keeps multiplying, you know? It just keeps multiplying, and you see the STDs. And you got to think, we've been talking about this for years. The pharmaceuticals love it. The culture of whoring, the pharmaceuticals love it. 304 culture is a blessing for Big Pharma. It's a blessing. Big Pharma loves this. So you're telling me, think about the big pharmaceuticals having a meeting. They're like, so the women are going around sleeping with men based on how they look. No questioning their sexual history. And a lot of the women are sleeping with the men raw. Then those women, after sleeping with a man, are then sleeping with their girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? They're sleeping with their girlfriends. They're sharing vibrators. Dog.
it's just nasty, man. STDs are, you know what I'm saying? STDs are like Hulk Hogan right now. You know, what you gonna do, brother, when STDs run wild on you? You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on, bro. The STDs, we're in a super STD culture. You know, a lot of people keep thinking, oh, feminism is about girl power. No, bro. Feminism was always about increasing sexual transmitted diseases. That's what it was all about. You know what I'm saying? And look at the culture we live in now. Let me see what Naomi Kalala said. Chart is showing if every person have the same body count and read the message on the bottom left. I got you. Let me read that. Let me zoom in. On the bottom left, it said many teenagers as well as adults are indirectly exposed to more than one sexual partner each year because their partner has had sex with someone else. You know what I'm saying? Alan Gutsmaster, whatever that name is. Let me see. When you have sex with someone, you are having sex with everyone they had sex with for the last 10 years and everyone they and their partners have had sex with. Yeah. I mean, another thing you got to think about is that women retain the sperm cells. You know, women retain the sperm cells from other men. You know what I'm saying? So the constant contact, and remember now, lesbianism, you know, that scam, because that's what feminism was all about. Feminism was all about making women more sexually active, you know what I'm saying, loosely sexually active, and at the same time pushing women to be more sexually active with other women. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think they were pushing this whole masculine woman narrative that women can do anything by themselves and this and that? Because if the women no longer see being with one man or serving a man, they now just go about serving their emotions and serving that lust. A man is the gateway, a man is the barrier from a woman destroying herself from emotion. You know what I'm saying? And now you have a society that's just telling women your freedom is based on how sexually active you are. The more active you are sexually, I mean, think about feminism today. Feminism isn't about, oh man, women can read. Man, woman read, and you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to make fun of it, but a woman, let me try to find, let me just have a little joke with this. Give me 1 minute, man. You know, let me read hooked on phonics. Phonics. Let me read that quick. Hooked on phonics. Let me read an image. Where is it? Damn, man. I can't find hook on phonics. Let me read some easy to read note. Let me note. Let me just type something story. Easy to read story. So let me read this quick online. I'm just gonna read the cover. You know what I'm saying? This is how funny shit is. Where is it? Let me share it on screen. Let me see. Where the hell is the world try? Oh, no, that was hooked on phonics. Let me just type easy to read story. Let me just type image. I don't know why it keeps switching, but fuck it, man. There's always something wrong with this piece of crap. Yeah, let me read a super easy story. Let me just read a story because this was the scam of feminism. It was all the women read, and oh, the homie Weebly Well, Shibby, what's good, man? You know what I mean? You know, no knee touching, man. You know, but they promoted feminism as women can read. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like women were never reading before. You know, feminism, the whole goal of feminism was sexual liberation so they can increase STDs. You know what I'm saying? It was all leading towards STDs. You know, the big pharmaceuticals were seeking that money. Why you think they got women on birth control? You know, why you think they push that the women should be given birth control when they're minors? Because the big pharmaceutical wanted access to the women's bodies as soon as possible. So put them on this subscription of birth control. You know, put the women on a subscription called birth control. Remove the father from the household because the father used to be the main source of birth control. The father would say, dishonor me, I will disown you." A lot of women, you could look up the stories of women being disowned because their father saw them holding a man's hands that the father didn't approve of. You know, being too promiscuous, and the father would disown her, like kick her right out of the damn house. You know what I'm saying? So Big Pharma benefited from the narrative and push of feminism. That big scam of, and you would hear all these soft bitch made guys out say, "Oh, feminism first wave was about justice and equality." It was never about equality. It was never about justice. How can something that's saying that women should stand eye to eye with men without the same accountabilities, without the same jobs, without the same duties to the world? You know what I'm saying? Men will build a society. Men are the village. Men are the town. Men are the city because the men build it and maintain it. You can't have a city with just women there, man. You know what I'm saying? So what feminism was never about equality. That was the scam, man. Oh, it's gonna be equal that the women have the same voting rights as the men, yet the men are the majority that fight the wars for the country. The men are the majority, the main resource of the government to protect the country. Feminism was always a scam to ensure that the government would completely devalue the male vote, the male existence. That's what it was. Feminism was nothing more than a tool. Because if feminism was so called about fairness, it would the voting rights given to the women would have been most likely 5% that of a man. 5%. Most likely 5% that of a man. It would be set up to where it would respect where the men stood. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about feminism, that's a scam when they act like, oh, feminism was the first time women had rights and freedom. No, men always ensured that, yo, you're not gonna touch my sister, bro. There were laws written. They act like before feminism, men were just running wild, taking women and running with them, kidnapping them. Nah, bro. The law of manhood prevented that. You knew there were laws in place. You know, the laws weren't, oh, you can only don't rob and steal from men. Don't openly harm men. No, the laws were do not harm anyone, you know what I'm saying, illegally. That means men and women, you know. But, feminism was created, it was a government propaganda by the government and corporations to completely devalue and eliminate and emasculate the men. The very fact that women have the same voting value as men is male emasculation. It's emasculating the men. It automatically means you as a man are emasculated. You know, that's what that means. You're already emasculated, man. You're telling me the majority of the country is protected. The soldiers are men. And think about it. You had, I think Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of Defense. You had a woman sending men to war. You know what I'm saying? That's how crazy it is. But I got to touch up on something extremely important. Let me play this quick.
Did that modern woman touch you? At where? Dad, that modern woman touch you? And where?
How does it feel to be a man and being worthless?
I guess building society is worthless, but I just can't help it as a man.
I have something more important to do. My fans need a new selfie.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm going to touch up on something. And I stress that, please, you need to listen to this. You know what I'm saying? You need to listen to this because this is extremely important. You know what I'm saying? What I'm about to tell you is something no one in the manosphere said. No man has said what I'm about to say online because they don't have the logical fortitude. They're not full-time ghosting. They're too thirsty for the validation of the military, the government to tell you what I'm about to tell you right now. Now, what I'm about to tell you right now is this. And it's gonna be this. Women have been trained right now, especially it's been sped up in 2020 because we've now seen the whole 50-50 debate. We've seen men saying women got pulled their weight, the whole what do you bring to the table thing. Now, a lot of women are saying, you got to bring six figures. But here's the thing. What experience makes a woman qualified to even deal with six figures? What experience in her life that would say she qualifies to deal with a man that's making six figures? Now, a lot of guys who've watched Manosphere content will think, oh, Hold the Truth Hostage is talking about her quality. Is she a nice woman? Is she kind? Is she a mother and all mother figure and all this? No, it's about experience. What would make a woman qualify to have a man that makes six figures? It's called experience. And what I mean by experience is, did she grow up around people making six figures? You know what I'm saying? This is a question Kevin Samuels never brought up. Kevin Samuels, who was training women to target so-called high value men. You know, a lot of women will bring up, oh, the guy's got to make six figures. Ma'am, lady, what qualifies you to experience a man that's made six figures? You didn't grow up around people that made six figures. You can't even aim, like the majority of women talking about six figures, and mind you, over 60% of women have grown up in single mother households. Odds are that mother made probably five figures. You know what I'm saying? Let's say 20,000 to about $40,000. So the mass majority of women do not even qualify to experience six figures. Like, for example, I grew up in the 90s. I'm a millennial. I remember, a lot of the rich women that were around wealth, would only deal with men who were around wealth. That was their class. A lot of you guys remember all the movies in the 90s or TV shows where if a guy wanted the attention of, in fact, let me bring it up, Aladdin. Remember the movie Aladdin? He wished to look like he was a prince, like he was rich, so he could hang around Jasmine. That used to be a running theme in TV shows where if a guy wanted to impress the rich woman, he would dress up or pretend to be rich, right? You would have to pretend to be rich to get noticed and get the attention of a rich woman. You know what I'm saying? So you looking at all these poor women outside that grew up around a family that made far less than six figures. They're telling you to pretend like they grew up and had six figures in their life. They haven't. You know what I'm saying? The only woman that deserves a man that made six figures. And what I mean by deserve is, I mean, interact with a man that made six figures is a woman that comes from a family that made six figures. You know what I'm saying? She grew up around it. That was her lifestyle. Her family is a six-figure family. But if you're just if it's just a regular woman from a family that's poor or average, that was averaging around $20,000 to $80,000 a year, she doesn't deserve to be around no damn six figures, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the guy's talking about. Yo, hey guys, long time no talk. Let me see what the homie said. Dreamstorm was good, brother. Been a minute. Dreamstorm said, yo, hey guys, long time no talk. When women think about six figures, they're thinking about upping their lifestyle. They are not thinking about security or increasing wealth. Oh yeah. Oh bro, you hit that on the nail. But here's the thing, Dreamstorm, they don't even qualify for that. You know what I'm saying? Women that aren't making six figures don't qualify to even interact with a man that's making six figures. We all grew up and watched a lot of the films and TV shows where, you know, the wealthy would only deal with the wealth. You know what I'm saying? This is why the wealthy were ashamed if a son, let's say a son was making, he comes from a wealthy stock, a wealthy family. They would be ashamed of him for dating or going after a poor woman because she doesn't increase the wealth. A family that's all about wealth is about two things: maintaining the wealth and increasing the wealth. So it would be shameful when a rich guy deals with a poor woman. This doesn't, remember, the wealthy deal with money strictly from a business standpoint. You do not marry, you do not get involved with a woman unless she increases your wealth or adds to it. That's how the wealthy work. That's why there was so much shame when a wealthy man would go down. He would downgrade himself to be with a poor person that endangers his wealth and doesn't add to it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't add to his class. It doesn't raise him up, you know? But let's see what the homie Kalala said. Simps on dating apps have enabled that illusion that they qualify. Yeah. Well, it's not just the simps, bro. It's the law. What's happened is the corporate messaging. When M2 happened, you know, when M2, man, forget it. When Me Too happened, it targeted all men, and the corporation supported it. And in fact, I'm about to tell you something right now. We're no longer in the Me Too age. We're in the Me 3. You know what I'm saying? We're in the Me 3 age, man. You know, the Me Too was all about attacking and going after men from a job situation, a corporate structure. And for corporations, it Me Too benefited a lot of corporations. You know what I'm saying? Corporations that didn't want to give a raise or wanted to fire somebody, Me Too benefited them, man. Yeah, Me Too benefited a lot of corporations. But we're now in the Me 3 age, you know? Me 3 is basically, okay, if Me Too was about the corporations where the women are like, yeah, me too. My boss did this, my boss did that, me too. We're now in the Me 3 era where the women that can't attack a man and falsely accuse him at a job are now going after all men. You know what I'm saying? That's what Me 3 is. Me 3 is the women that can't participate in Me Too. So now they're saying all men are dangerous. This is why you get this narrative that, you know, what was it?
I'm gonna raise them so I can take the bear.
Freeze. Drop the bear cubs.
Bear!
This is why you get that whole take the bear thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women that could not participate in Me Too have now targeted all men. You know what I'm saying? All men are high risk. So now once the women say all men are dangerous, now no woman can be left out of the Me Too victim parade. You know what I'm saying? Because all men qualify now. You know what I'm saying? All men qualify to be a female abuser. We're now in the Me 3 era, man. You know what I'm saying? If someone has a better word, whatever, it might be, what is it, Me Too? Yeah, we're in the Me 3 era, whatever you want to call it. All by saying Me 3 for the women that couldn't participate in Me Too, where they say all men are dangerous, all men are abusing us all. Now they can all participate because now they can point at any man and say, "Oh, he abused, he abused, he abused." So they can all participate in the victimhood parade. You know what I'm saying? And what's happened with this is that corporations in Kalala, you gotta remember, bro, back in the 2010s, the corporations were literally promoting, and I remember I spoke about this on a stream a while back. The corporations were literally promoting that women are being paid 75 cents on the dollar compared to a man. We're talking about big corporations. I'm not gonna mention any names, but huge corporations were having TED Talks, interviewing women, saying, "Oh, women are being paid right." And these are the same corporations that have these women sign a contract that says they will be paid the same as an employee. You know, and what's happened with all these women with the six-figure thing is that you got to understand this is all coming after Oprah Winfrey, Jenny Jones, Jerry Springer. The narrative that men are deadbeat dads that has been going on. The deadbeat father thing has been going on for over 60 years. That scam, the deadbeat dad. You know what I'm saying? Where it's really women will just have a baby. For example, let's say we go back to the 1930s. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the homie Kalala said. Scam. If it was true, they would hire them all. Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. You know that, bro. But what's happened is the deadbeat dad. You know, remember that a lot of black people know this song. Papa was a rolling stone. And when he was gone, he was gone. You know what I'm saying? That narrative that the deadbeat dad, or oh, my dad went to get some milk and never came back. You know what I'm saying? That narrative's been going on for over 60 years because a lot of these women, right? Remember, a lot of these women would be sleeping with just random dudes and they have no protection on and would get pregnant and they'd make up a story. Oh, the father went to get something and disappeared. When, dude, the man who got her pregnant when she chose unprotected sex didn't even know her. And the other thing is, he might have been intoxicated. There's a lot of women that got impregnated by a man who was intoxicated. You know what I'm saying? And didn't have any control of what was going on. They were both drunk. They were both under the influence, drugs, alcohol, whatever. And a few months later, she's pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I used to tell guys this over 4 years ago. There's a lot of mothers out there that don't want to admit that their sons, their daughters are products of a one night stand. It's a one night stand with no name. It's a one night stand with no name, bro. She doesn't even remember the father's name, how he looks. She just will say, "Well, he didn't want to when she told him he was pregnant, she left. He left." Yo, most women don't even get to tell the man they were pregnant. A lot of them had a one night stand, can't even remember the dude, and will just make up a story that they spoke to him because they got to somehow remove that level of recklessness from them. So they'll make up a story that they spoke to the guy. He's blocking the phone number when really she not calling nobody, man. She ain't calling nobody. Nobody's picking up the phone. There was never a conversation. It was a one night stand at some bar she doesn't even remember. You know what I'm saying? At some hotel with a guy she doesn't even remember. And bam, the baby was born. You know? The baby was born. You know what I'm saying? A one night stand where she doesn't even know the father. You know? That's really what's going on, man. Let me see what the homie said. He was an honorable man before he passed away. Oh yeah, you know that story, man. A lot of these women have been telling stories for over 6 decades, man. You know what I mean? Probably over 100 years, whatever. This story of he didn't want to take responsibility, dude. She doesn't even. And the best example used to be Maury. Remember the show Maury Povich, where you are not the father. He would expose this on his show where a woman would come in there and she would come there for 5 episodes and still couldn't find the father. And she would say, well, I know he was the father. No, bro, it was a one night stand. She was on drugs, alcohol, under the influence, and can't remember the father. But they'll make up this story. Oh, the man he didn't want to take this and that. He didn't want to own up. He didn't want to be a man. And the other thing is, a lot of men got cornered. They were both drunk and on alcohol. And let's say she remembers the man and she didn't come to the man. Come on, man. We live in an age of plan B. We live in the age of the 6 foot reach, the baby wipes. We live in an age of baby wipes. You know what I'm saying? You could go to a baby wipe clinic. You know what I'm saying? You could go to a baby wipe clinic anytime you want. And they'll baby wipe. You know what I'm saying? They'll baby wipe. There's a baby wipe clinic, But what's happened is there's a lot of men that have been forced to step up. He was drunk, she was drunk. She didn't even bring up she was pregnant because she was gonna trap him. You know what I'm saying? Now let me ask you something. Let's say a guy doesn't want to be trapped. You know what I'm saying? Is he a bad man if he knew, yo, I was drunk, I didn't want to have this baby, bro. I didn't want to have these kids. We were both at the club. We both had unprotected sex. And instead of her getting rid of the baby wipes, instead of baby wipes, she kept it to trap the guy. And he said, you know what? I'm not going to be in these kids' lives. I never wanted to have children. And the other thing is, the guy technically doesn't know if that's his baby or not. Didn't have no DNA testing. So it becomes, are these guys bad guys? Are you a bad guy if you don't want to be in your children's life if you never wanted to have these kids? You know what I'm saying? Because, man, they put this narrative, oh, man, there's a lot of deadbeat dads. But before there was a deadbeat dad, there was a deadbeat mom. No, a reckless mother. You know what I'm saying? A reckless mother that doesn't want to choose the correct type of man to have a child by. You know what I'm saying? She slept with the guy under the influence, or one night they slept together without protection. She gets pregnant. And think about it. You're going to bring a child into this world. 9 months, you're going to develop a child in your body for a man you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the homie said. Yeah, man, Dreamstorm, Maury. Oh, yeah, dude, you remember. Maury Povich, Ricky Lake, Jenny Jones. You know what I mean? Those were the Gen X days. Kamala Harris looked like a trophy girlfriend on Montel. Oh, yeah, Montel Williams. Come on, man. Jerry Springer. Come on, dude. You know Jerry Springer. And the list goes on, bro. A lot of these women have reckless bodies. There's no way in hell you're going to carry a child for 9 months in your body for a man you don't know. This is why fathers were arranging relationships. They were arranged marriages. It was two fathers would look at each other. They would look at each other and each other's values and say, you're a hardworking man. I'm a hardworking man. If we both have children, we'll arrange our children to be married or to be together. That's why the fathers made the decision. No emotion, none of this. Oh, but daddy, I love him. None of that love crap. None of that love crap. The father would be, he's a hardworking man. He could keep the lights on. He's gonna have a stable family if we arrange this marriage. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was before now, where you hear, and this is why I say having fathers today don't mean nothing. The father is nothing more than a henchman. Most fathers in a relationship right now, they're the henchman. Whatever the mom wants. Oh, honey, we have to let her marry Derek. She loves him, but Derek's a bum. You know what I'm saying? Derek don't even got a job, but she loves Derek. You know what I'm saying? Most fathers now are enablers, man. They're henchmen. They're henchmen. You know what I'm saying? They can't say no. They can't say nothing. You know. But yeah. What was I saying, man? Let me get back to because I gotta give me 1 second. Let me just play this video quick, kind of like a timestamp, so I know where I'm at. Give me 1 second.
Oh, my brother, testify.
Now I'm about to tell you something extremely important, you know. And remember these numbers. Remember these numbers I'm about to tell you. Remember these numbers, all right? The number is 18. 18 for 10. Remember these numbers. 18 for 10. Let me repeat that. 18 for 10. Now, what do I mean by 18 for 10? The mass majority of women right now are being trained to give up 18 years of experience for 10 years. For 10 years of life. You know what I mean? What do I mean by give up 18 years for 10? What do I mean by that? You know what I'm saying? Why do I say abandon 18 years for 10? What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of women are being raised to and told, you know what, you got to chase a man for 6 figures. You got to chase a man for their money. A lot of women are being trained to be what I call, and I coined it, diamond miners. Diamond miners. Most women can't afford to be a gold digger. They can work the diamond mines. They're diamond miners. But a lot of women are being trained to give up 18 years of their lives, 18 years of experience for 10 years. For 10 years. What I mean by that is that most women grew up in most likely a 5-figure household, 20,000 to about 80,000. Let's say 20,000 to $80,000. That's what they grew up on. That's what their mothers made, and their father or their single mother. They grew up in a household where there wasn't that much money. They didn't have that much access to money, but they still got fed. They still got food. They still were around the family. And what happens once they turn 18, the narrative that's being pushed on the women is abandon the fact that you grew up in a household, safe household. Let's just say safe, a safe household with a family on a $20,000 to $80,000 budget. Abandon that and pretend now pursue a 6-figure man. So pursue a 6-figure man and start saying, you got to bring in 6 figures. You got to make this much money, that much money, even though she grew up in a household where it was less than 6 figures. So you're telling me you grew up in a household with less than 6 figures. You went to school. You still went to college. You still grew up in a stable household with less than six figures, now you're pretending that without six figures you won't survive. You know what I'm saying? Without six figures, someone shouldn't qualify to talk to you, shouldn't qualify for your attention, and all that BS for the next 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So she's 18 and her value will be until she's about 28. So for the next 10 years of her life, she's going to pursue this six figures narrative. You know what I'm saying? It's six figures narrative. Damn, fix my headphones. Uh, she's going to pursue this whole six figure narrative when she grew up in a household with five figures. You know what I'm saying? And then these women will say, well, you know, that's what I deserve and this and that. But if you deserve six figures, how come you didn't grow up on six figures? Then if we're saying six figures is all that counts, that means your mother was a failure, your father was a failure. Everyone that grew up with you in a household that made less than six figures is a failure, which means by virtue of that, you are a failure. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand the majority of women are throwing away their 18 years of growing up in a stable household that made less than six figures for 10 years of chasing six figures. So they're going to abandon 18 years growing up in a household where there was less than six figures for just 10 years of their life. Because the thing is this, bro. If you think about it, women only have 10 years. They got 10 years to get a man in a stable household, stable relationship, or it's absolutely, they're going to be alone for the next 40 to 50 years. Think about that. Think about it. She turns 18. Now all of a sudden, family, trust, respect, all the stuff she grew up on in her household of less than six figures, that doesn't matter anymore. So this is why I say having a father figure, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything in this society where the laws are the way they are. So she will throw away her entire experience growing up in a household where they made less than six figures. She will throw all that away. All the lessons her father taught her, all the lessons her mother, her brothers, her siblings, she will throw all that away. Those 18, she will throw away all those years to pursue that six figure lifestyle, you know, so from 18 to about 28. 18 to 28 years old, she's gone 10 years of her life. So for 10 years, she's gonna disqualify all the stable men, all the good men, whatever, that could give her a stable life, just like the life she had growing up, for this six figures. You know what I'm saying? For six figures. So she's gonna toss aside 18 years of growing up. You know what I'm saying? Once she becomes 18, she throws away her 17 years of life. Throws it away for the pursuit of six figures. You know what I'm saying? And think about it. She got 10 years. From 18, 10 more years, she will be 28. So 28 years old. And then if she's not married in a stable relationship, she has the next about, let's say, 40 to about 62 years of loneliness that awaits her. You know what I'm saying? 40 to 62 years of loneliness awaiting. You know, just sleeping around, throwing her body around like a goddamn pancake, flipping her body like a pancake. You know what I'm saying? That's her next life. That's what you got to understand that's going on. The majority of women now in America, Canada, you know, the homie Welsh Hibbity told me Ireland, Scotland, you know what I'm saying? Some parts of India, United Kingdom, Australia, they're all they're all throwing away their family values. 18 years of family values away to chase after six figures. So that means even if this woman was raised in a good family, a stable family, had mom and dad, no divorce, none of that means anything because she's throwing all that away for this six figures. You know what I'm saying? So all she was raised up on, the good family nature and experience, she will throw all that away for 10 years of chasing a six-figure man. You know what I'm saying? 10 years. That's what's happening, man. That's where we're at now. That's why you look at the women here and you're like, dog, she came from a good family. Why did she divorce that man? Why did she do this? Why did she do that? Because all 17 years of her life doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Once she reaches 18, she throws away all the family values, everything she was raised on to better chase them six figures. That's why you go online and you see these women, even if they grew up in a single mother household, let's say she grew up in a single mother household, you'll hear this lie of, well, we didn't have a man in the house. We didn't know how, I don't know how to respect a man. That's all bullshit. That's all BS. She grew up in a household where she had to clean the room, she had to wash the dishes. You know what I'm saying? She had to wash the dishes, clean her room, and all that stuff. Now all of a sudden she's 18. She can't clean. She can't wash. She can't cook. She can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Because to pursue those six figures, women will completely abandon everything they went through, everything they learned, everything they know when they were before they were 18. You know what I'm saying? All that family, household training out the water. You know what I'm saying? Thrown away for those 10 years of just chasing a six-figure man. And the thing is, like I said, once she reaches about 27, 28, it's pretty much over. You know what I'm saying? Because the older she gets, once she passes that 25 mark, guys start saying, yeah, something's up. Something's wrong here. And another thing, men aren't looking to fix anything, you know? So now you understand what I mean by 18 for 10. She's going to throw away 18 years of her life for 10 years of chasing the six-figure man, 10 years on the carousel, 10 years sleeping around, 10 years. This is why. Now you understand. You know what I'm saying? Now you get it. This is what's happening, man. She's going to throw away 10 years. She's going to throw away 18 years of her life. You know, being in a household, cleaning for her brother, making sure her siblings are safe. You know, cooking, cleaning the house. Throw it all away once she turns 18 to pursue that six-figure man and that 304 lifestyle, hot girl summer, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my brother, testify.
You know what I mean? But you know, let's go. We're about to get a little more. Now I'm gonna show you something why that we are now at a point where, you know, women have basically destroyed everything. Now, check this out. A lot of guys like to say, you know what, Chad is above everything, but check this out. Blake Lively, let me make sure I can get to this. Blake Lively sued this guy, man. And then he got robbed by the judges. Blake Lively sued a director who had her casted in a film playing an abused woman, a director. And then, you know, look at the guy. You know, you're Chad, like, and now she won the lawsuit. And now, and this is Ryan Reynolds' wife. Ryan Reynolds ended up allegedly, whatever, threatening the guy. And his wife, Blake Lively, openly lied and set this guy up. This is a director. You know what I'm saying? Let me shorten this a little. Give me a minute. Make myself a little small. This is the director. His name is Justin Baldini. Look up Justin Baldini when you get the chance. You know, your quote unquote Chad, whatever. He was a director, and she basically sued him. And guess what? The judges said, you know what? He lost. Now let's see this case, man. Let me try to get a video of the case. Let me try to get a short. You know what I'm saying? Justin Baldini case. His case was dismissed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Blake Lively's lawsuit against do with her children. Yeah. She set him up, man, allegedly, and tried to destroy the man. Falsify. And guess what? The judges, let me play this. The judges let her off. Let's play this.
Dominic, what did you think about this in a case that so many people have been watching so closely?
Oh, this is a huge win for Blake Lively. I mean, a massive win. You know, she made a move to have this suit dismissed back in March. This has been dismissed in its entirety. Now, the judge has said, Judge Lyman has said that the Baldoni team, the defendants, can put in a new amendment.
Oh, my brother was good, man. Ghost. My brother was up, man. Was good. But, you know, you got to check this case, man. You see, notice, this is your so-called, you know, this is your so-called Chads and all that. A lot of guys like to believe, oh, man, Chad is, a lot of people talk about Chad like he's immortal, like Hulk Hogan or something. The immortal, unstoppable. But look, he got sued for directing. And look, he's not Weinstein. He's not Harvey Weinstein. Does he look like Harvey Weinstein to you? Anybody? Does he look like Harvey Weinstein? Nope. Looks like your Chad guy, director. This right here, this case just changed everything. This case right here just changed all. Women have now just lost all of their roles. It is now, this message that has been sent is, and check this out. This guy's a father. He had a wife, everything. You know what I'm saying? Looks like he could be a Chad, a model, whatever. He's a model. But what's happened now is that this Blake Lively lawsuit basically means all men are at risk. And now what's happened is women, because of this Blake Lively lawsuit, women now have lost all of their casting roles. And now AI is the future. AI now with this Blake Lively lawsuit, and I'm gonna show you something with AI. I'm gonna show you a few clips. Give me a minute. I'm gonna show you something soon. But let me just understand. Where is it? Yeah. I'm gonna share that. In fact, I'm gonna share that later. But check this out. Let me finish playing the lawsuit.
Complaint with much more limited claims that they can make. They have until, I believe, June 23rd to do that. But at this point, for a case that's going to trial on March 9th, 2026, Blake Lively holds the upper hand.
You see that? Yeah. Blake Lively holds the upper hand. You know what I'm saying? Blake Lively holds the upper hand. Why? Because she's a woman in a Western system. It does not matter if there's evidence. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? This guy didn't. If you don't remember Harvey Weinstein, let me look up Harvey Weinstein quick. Harvey Weinstein. You know, if you don't remember at all, this is Harvey Weinstein. You know what I'm saying?
Creators looking for an.
After lots of drama in the.
You see, this is Harvey Weinstein. You see that? Take a look, people. This is Harvey Weinstein, who a lot of women accused of, you know, he forced himself on them. He He told them, if you don't do this, and remember, they're adults, if you don't do this, you don't get this role. Does this look like Justin Baldini? Does this look like a Chad? Does this look like a Chad, a Tyrone, an Aladdin? You know what I'm saying? A Rusev, you know what I'm saying? No. What guys now don't get is now this has changed everything. This case has changed everything. Now, what's going to happen? AI now, you know, with what's happened to Justin Baldini, especially once the case hits,
Dominic,
once the case hits, goes to court, once the case goes to court, man, it is now over for female actors. You know what I'm saying? Now, as a male director, you cannot trust or feel safe when directing a female actress. What happened with this case is that you could look it up yourself, but what happened is she was getting some flack for the movie. The movie's about a woman who's abused and he casted her and all that. You know what I'm saying? And now let's see, Taylor Swift is in it.
Justin Baldoni has been granted legal access to certain text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift. A federal judge denied a request from Lively's attorneys to keep her texts with Swift private in the actress's ongoing lawsuit with Baldoni. In a filing obtained by NBC News on June 18th, U.S. District Judge Louis Lyman reportedly explained in his ruling that only messages pertaining to Lively and Baldoni's movie It Ends With Us are permissible in the case. Given that Lively has represented that Swift had knowledge of complaints or discussions about the working environment on the film, among other issues, the requests for messages with Swift regarding the film and this action are reasonably tailored to discover information that would prove or disprove Lively's harassment and retaliation claims, the judge wrote per NBC News. Lively's team slammed the decision in a statement, claiming that Baldoni has been attempting to, quote, drag Swift into the case.
You know what I'm saying? You see that, man? She basically sued the guy for, you know, a role he put her in that she no longer liked. Because it wasn't well received, she turned on him. And this is your Chad guy, right? This is a Chad, right? I thought Chad was immortal. Chad was untouchable, man. Now this changes everything. You know, after Me Too, you know, Me Too affected a lot of corporate jobs, you know, it affected a lot of corporate jobs, but you know, and some entertainment here and there, but this right here is the nail in the coffin, because even if you're a handsome man or attractive man, you are not safe. The message that's being sent, and they're not reporting this, they're not going to talk about it, they're not going to say what's really on the line, is that now as a man, if you're directing any films, your best bet now is to replace a real woman completely. You know what I'm saying? Either that or green screen. What's going to happen now from this issue, let me check one more thing. You know what I'm saying? Let me check one more thing. You know, let's see what happened with the Blake Lively case. Let's see.
The $400 million case against Blake Lively is dismissed. What? Why? Wait, what's happening? Justin Baldoni had a massive defamation case against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist. Baldoni accused all of them of trying to ruin his career during the It Ends With Us production and tour. Oh. You remember this? Nope. Okay, then Baldoni sued the New York Times and said they published an article relying heavily on Lively's side against him without fact-checking. Oh, I dismissed that filing too. It's protected under fair reporting privilege, which protects news reports on legal proceedings. Can you explain your reasoning? Look, the alleged facts indicate that the Times reported the available evidence and reported, perhaps in a dramatized manner, what is believed to have happened. You have until June 23rd to refile some of your claims. Wait, so what about Blake Lively's trial against Baldoni and his production company? That's in March 2026. Attention, your $400 million case against Blake.
You see, that was thrown out because, man, let me see this. Let's see what happened.
For those who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking over the film?
I've never seen it before in my 30-plus year career in Hollywood. And an executive producer is below a producer in the film world. An executive producer signed up to be an executive producer, and that's it. As the time progressed in this film, she decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors. She wanted to be part of that team. The next thing you know, she took over the editing. She started making threats that she wouldn't promote the movie, that she wanted to be in control of marketing of the movie, that she would do nothing in terms of promotion unless she was the actual editor.
For those who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking?
Oh man, oh dude, yeah. So let me check something. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 second. I think we just gotta make sure. Okay, yeah, it's still live on YouTube. All right. Well, the reason I'm sharing this is that this ends females acting, you know. Now, what's gonna happen now if you're a male director or male actor is that, especially if you're doing an independent film, because the Baldoni case happened on an independent level. What's going to happen to a lot of independent directors now, men in general, is that you should not be directing a woman. You know what I'm saying? You should not be directing a woman for a film. Because what happened with this Blake Lively case is that because the public didn't like the movie, all of a sudden she wanted to change and blame everything on him and accuse him of wrongly touching her and so on. And remember, this man, I think, is married and has kids, you know, and she signed up for the script. That now means that if any woman that is acting on your movie feels any type of way, she can sue you. And the judge throwing the case away shows you that at the end of the day, you're a man. Anybody that's a man, you're already guilty. You know what I'm saying? You're already guilty of being a man, you know? And what this will change is that now we're heading to the age of AI. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something with AI. Check this out. I'm going to show you something very quick and why women now will basically be replaced. You know what I'm saying? What this Blake Baldoni case basically means is that women will no longer have an acting role. Now, real women will be replaced by either AI actresses or green screening. And what I mean by green screening is that the women will basically act out their roles in a private room, green screened. Then they will basically put them in the film to make it seem like they were there. Because now what this Baldoni case means is that men, you do not direct a real woman in America. You know what I'm saying? And this I'm gonna show you what AI. Check this out. So this is AI, man. I was messing around with give me 1 minute, give me 1 second. I was messing around with the you know, making a little video clip for making a video clip for the you know, for the channel. And check this out. You know what I'm saying? Let me just block out the sound, but check. You see, this was AI. You know, look at that, man. You see that video? This was with AI, man. None of these people are real, bro. And this was with AI. You know, this is why AI is going to be pushed forward. And I'm going to show you something else. Check this out. You know, this is with another, different. So I generated the video. I generated the video with different tools. But check this out. You see? You know what I'm saying? You see that? None of this is real, man. None of these people on there are real, you know. But let me show you, man. This is what's going to happen. Let me generate a character quick. I'm going to generate a character. Let me get out of here quick. Flux. Let me just type beautiful woman kissing a man on the beach. Let me mix that up. Let me just put that quick. Look at that. It's gonna create it. It's gonna create it very quick. It's creating it. It's creating the image. Check that out. Look at that, dude. Maybe the nose on that one. Look at that. Now look at this, man. I'm gonna download this. I'm gonna turn this to a video. Look at that. It's a man kissing a woman, whatever. Now let's generate a video with it. Oh man, give me a minute. Damn. It won't generate a video. Man, give me a second. So let me put that on there. Maybe it will. Let me see what's going on. Okay, now I'm gonna generate a video. Just gonna make one quick with these tools. Damn, man, give me a second. It's like I gotta download it. Go to generations. Damn it. Let's see. Generate. Give me a second. God damn, man. For some reason the website is acting a little weird. But let me install it. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm trying to download the image. For some reason this is acting stupid. But yeah, now let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. So check this out. Let me see if I'm on the video. On the video generator. Check this out. Just find the image. Kissing on the beach. So, I'm putting them, and I'm gonna generate it. Kissing on the beach. Gonna generate it with 3 different types of tools. Let me see another one. Kissing on the beach. Oh, no, that's taking too many credits. You know what I'm saying? Take a look, man. Look at that. Look at this video. You know what I'm saying? Generated of a couple kissing on the beach with AI. You know what I'm saying? This is with AI, man. What's happened in Western society is they've pushed the men so far. They pushed the men so far with Me Too and all these things as though we won't have a solution. We have AI now, man. What's happened is a lot of women now with this Blake Lively lawsuit has basically lost their jobs, and with the fact that AI is available, you're gonna see a lot more real women lose their jobs in Hollywood. Because why would any director hire a woman with the threat of a lawsuit? With the threat of a lawsuit if they hire a real woman. So what's going to happen, and let me show you this, because I'm going to show you that this woman doesn't even know what's going on. She doesn't even know. Check this out. Let me get on it quick. Okay.
What is the future of Hollywood and human beings with AI right here, right now?
Well, two things going on. We have the more practical matters of kind of the dissolving of Los Angeles and Southern California, and everything that supports the business here, real estate values, tourism, everything. I mean, it's just going to be.
And I paused it for a minute. To let you know that everything that supports the business, all the 2010s was spent on closeting content that was all about promoting anti-straight male content. All about compromising men's sexualities. You couldn't even get a job in Hollywood if you haven't been touched in the closet. If you haven't knee touched a man, you would not get a job in the closet. And her saying everything sponsored and supported the business. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to say that to let you know that all the 2010s, 2020s, it was all spent on, it is the worst decade of entertainment ever. 2010 to 2015 is probably one of the worst decades plus of entertainment history. You know what I'm saying? They wasted an entire decade plus. Now they wasted half the decade of 2025. You know what I'm saying? Because it's nothing but closet and Rainbow Rider content. It's all about compromising a straight male. You know what I'm saying? All the content that's being pushed out is telling you if you're a straight man, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? And think about it. It's Men's History Month. How come Men's History Month wasn't on July? How come this couldn't be Father's History Month? For all the fathers that went to war to build up this country. You know what I'm saying? Instead, let's make it Men's Mental Health Month, because we have to remind the men that they have a mental health issue because they are men. You know what I'm saying? In the same month we got mental health, we got pride. You know what I'm saying? Be pride, have pride that you have body mutilation. Have pride that you want to cut off your balls. Have pride that you want to sit down when you piss. You know what I'm saying? That's pride right there. Real pride is you mutilating your body. You know what I'm saying? That's real pride right there. Let's go back to what she's saying.
Quite an economic disaster, considering how much in Southern California is in and around the business. The second thing is, as far as AI in film, I think we're going to see streamers using the years and years of viewing history that they have on you, and create customized pieces for you. They won't bother to copyright those because it'll be like Kleenex. And then for an upcharge, they can face replace you on films that they can license for this purpose from studios and other places that have libraries. You could say, put my face on Luke Skywalker's body today.
So we can. Oh God.
Now, here's something she brought up, and she brought this up, but she's gonna get negative on it. Of course, she's gonna get negative. In her eyes, Hollywood wasn't doing nothing wrong for the last 10 years of just, rainbow. Allegedly, the rainbow and all that stuff. So, in her eyes, Hollywood was pretty good before AI and all that. But what she doesn't understand is why AI is the future of film. Isn't just the fact that you won't need to worry about budgeting. You won't need to worry about budgeting as much. You won't need to worry about real worlds. But the thing about AI that's going to be extremely profitable is now actors cannot die. Actors cannot die anymore. That means, let's say you're a poor actor, and I'll give an actor's example. Let's say you're a poor actor and, people still loved you when you were young. Why not license your appearance to someone to make an AI film, based on your likeness when you were younger? You know what I'm saying? When you were younger versus how you look right now as an older person. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's coming to pass. And in her eyes, that's the negative. But the future, especially for us men, think about it. They wasted time. Henry Cavill, the guy who plays Superman, Henry Cavill right now should be James Bond. He should be in mad movies right now. But because Henry Cavill is straight, because Henry Cavill represents a group of straight men who play video games, who Henry Cavill even came out and, even though he started simping right now, Henry Cavill, I think, is in a long-term relationship right now with a Western woman, I think in the United Kingdom. So, Henry Cavill's in that danger zone. He started simping, but Henry Cavill during Me Too said, I don't like talking to women alone, because of Me Too. They made an example out of him. How dare you, a straight man, care about your safety, And look at it. Henry Cavill isn't in any films. Even though they love them in The Witcher, they use him as a vehicle to push more of the closet, more of the rainbow, and all that stuff. But before I go deeper, let's let her finish talking.
Gosh, we've talked about it a little bit on my previous show, but it's kind of crazy to think about. So theoretically, then, does time matter? Could Steve McQueen effectively make, and I'm using air quotes, make a new movie today?
Yes, of course. If his estate licensed his image, sure. So there's so much to say about this, but just you can imagine if you're a new actor, you're competing his estate licensed his image, sure. So there's so much to say about this, but just you can imagine if you're a new actor, you're competing it used to be you compete against in auditions those who were your age, your look, and available during the time that the film's going to shoot. But now you're going to compete against every actor that's ever lived.
I assume that Steve McQueen's estate could, and I love Steve McQueen, by the way, they could license that out for a ridiculously small amount of money. They wouldn't, but they could. And therefore, some human actor who's alive and trying to pay the rent and put food on the table is not going to get paid because the estate of Steve McQueen, which is already very wealthy, I'm sure, will get paid. This seems seismic for the industry.
Now, here's something he didn't explain. This shows you the different level. Like I said, a lot of these people aren't that smart, man. You got to understand that you making a lot of money don't mean you're smart. What they don't get is that, how actors, remember how we watched all those movies where actors will do a bioepic? Like an actor will act as though he was John Legend, or actor will act as though he was Tupac or whatever. What AI is going to allow you to do is for those method actors or character actors, now you could act as Tupac. What's going to happen now is actors that are trained to behave like someone, act like someone, they will now be able to, let's say somebody was doing a movie based on Tupac, for example, and they studied Tupac's mannerisms, how Tupac behaves, everything. Now they cast this guy, they put an AI filter over him, an AI video filter, and now not only is he acting as Pac, he looks like Pac. They have a real image of Tupac on them to make it look like it's truly Tupac. And remember, there's photos of Tupac from the 90s when he was older, younger. So now we're going to get movies where the actors look exactly like the person they're portraying, because now with AI, you could put their likeness on them. But this guy, he's not that smart. His head ain't working that good. He doesn't understand this will actually help actors that sound like, there's a lot of actors out there that could that could behave just like a person. We got people in our family. I got I got a brother. he is a great method actor. Like he could pretend to move just like The Rock. He could walk like him, move like him, but he don't look like The Rock. So all those people that can mimic people, they're about to get jobs. Because the thing about AI, it's good and all, but it can't completely copy someone. So what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a lot more jobs out there. And what AI is gonna do is it's gonna break the whole mold of you gotta look like somebody to act like them. That means if I could act like I'm for example, let's say I could act like Denzel. I could act exactly like Denzel Washington, or I could act exactly like a young Al Pacino. But guess what, people? You know what I mean? Look at me. Let me get off this camera. I clearly don't look like Al Pacino, right? I'm a black guy, you know. But with AI, if I can act like Al Pacino, I could get the job to play a young Al Pacino. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna open the doors at an insane level. And the other thing they brought up with the estates is that a lot of estates, think about it, there's a lot of actors that died. We want more movies from them, right? We still want movies from them, but they died. Bruce Lee died, but you want another movie from Bruce Lee. Carl Weathers just died right now. You know what I'm saying? Al Pacino's skeleton. That's why I'm gonna play you out, But what AI is gonna allow is all the dead people, man. Like, we always wanted to make this movie, they'll be able to do it. And one thing AI is gonna open a door is you could license. Now Hollywood is, I've been telling people this in the background. And she touched up on it a little, but Hollywood is about to become a licensing firm where they just license footage. You want to make a movie just like The Godfather? Well, you could license The Godfather, use scenes from The Godfather to make your new movie. That's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see it. It's already happening where Hollywood is teaming up with certain AI companies. But what's going to happen now, all the movies we've ever seen, whether they're all going to be utilized for making new movies. They're going to be stock images, stock video. You know what I'm saying? Now let's let her finish talking.
Yeah, I mean, the industry that we had for 100 years is done. I mean, what we have now.
You see, I didn't want to stop it, but I had to. Notice she said for 100 years. She didn't mention that the Hollywood industry we had died 15 years ago. All the 2010s was spent on all this promotion of, the closet, promoting the rainbow riding, promoting pride, trying to force straight men to compromise their sexuality by watching, rainbow content. You know what I'm saying? She didn't notice she mentioned 100 years. That means she didn't have a problem with current Hollywood where they won't hire you if you got talent or skill. They'll only hire you if you're into letting the director on the couch touch you as a man. You know what I'm saying? If you're into minor chasing, we saw that Nickelodeon thing where that guy didn't get sued. He didn't lose no money or nothing. But, it's okay. Hollywood has been a piece of garbage. I think the last time Hollywood counted and mattered was the 2000s. I think the 2000s was the last decade where you had so many good films come out, so many bangers and hits. It ain't the 2010s where you're like, you know what, I could probably remember maybe out of that whole decade, 10 good films or something, 10 must watch, 10 years, 2000s, we could go all day. We could go, you know what I'm saying? We could go, Blade, we could go Blade. We could go, we could go some movies, man, the list, we could go Tomb Raider. We could go Underworld, man. The 2000s, we could just go all day. We go all day on it. We could go Batman, Begins. Batman Dark Knight. Yo, we could go all day with the 2000s. 2010s, I mean, something happened, right? 2010s, you're like, you got to scramble your brain. What happened in 2010s? Well, yeah, nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So she had to say 100 years later. She didn't want to bring up the last 15 years where Hollywood has been nothing more than, oh, you gotta be. It became an entire political piece of BS. And the DEI thing, what's funny about the DEI thing is they made black people to face a DEI, even though the majority hires a DEI or some white women, some closeted white guys, and some Asians. You know what I'm saying? But we got to make sure that the face of it is the blacks, because I mean, the black Ariel, the mermaid, you know, the 2010s was all spent. All the black, we got to make this character black, that character black, and then blame it. Oh, it's DEI, it's diversity. But who owns these companies? It wasn't a black owned company. Disney made a black mermaid, and that lady saw a job and she took it. You know what I'm saying? They spent an entire decade. What was it? I know y'all remember Avengers Endgame, that scene where they said, oh man, half of the people are missing. And a guy came, well, it's still hard to be a rainbow. It's still hard to be a rainbow rider. You know what I'm saying? An entire decade plus wasted. 2010s to 2025, Hollywood is dead. You know what I'm saying? Even a new Superman is garbage. They fire Henry Cavill, make up some BS. Oh, I want my own Superman. And this Superman looks like he's the Dollar General, the dollar store brand Superman. It's a shame. You know what I'm saying? It's a goddamn shame. But let's let her finish.
It's sort of a conveyor belt of content. And then this, foray into basically, what we have now is sort of a conveyor belt of content. And then this, foray into basically the replacement of human labor with the AI elements.
The thing is this, man, as a guy who uses AI, it's they're pushing this narrative that it's going to end human labor. But the truth is, it's going to allow more people to work and actually allow people to do more work. Like, let's be real, man. Let's be honest here. Why does it take 2 to 3 years to get a sequel of a damn movie? You know what I'm saying? Why does it take 2 to 3 years to get a sequel when you want it right now? You know what I'm saying? Why doesn't it take 6 months? Why doesn't it take every 6 months we get a sequel? You know what I'm saying? Every 4 months. That's what AI will do. You got directors and actors working on a movie for 2 years for no damn reason. You know what I'm saying? It's going to speed up the process of making films. It's going to allow directors to actually make more films. Instead of, well, you got to spend 4 to 5 years to direct one movie, you could just spend with AI and the people, you could direct multiple movies at once. You know what I'm saying? And most importantly, what AI is going to do is you won't need that Hollywood budget. You won't need it. And you won't need to get on a couch, a casting couch. You won't need to lose your manhood to make a goddamn movie. Not that you need to, but for you to make a high budget or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'll show you right now. Let me go back to this AI stuff. I just want to show you something quick. Where is it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's see that they're kissing. Oh, that was made with AI. Now let's make another scene quick. What is that now? VO3 would take too much of my energy. Let's see. Man running away from monstrous beast burning Let's see. Let me put something. Destroyed city cinematic high action. Let me show you something, man. Cinematic high action. You see that? Let's go to text to video. Check this out, man. Gonna do this quick. Just put that. Whatever. Boom. I'm gonna have them all generate the same damn footage. Let's see. Create it. Okay. I don't need 720p. What the hell? It can't be. I'm saying a pro plan. Let's see one more thing. I got so damn. Yeah, so I got the AI generating something for me. You know what I'm saying? I'll get on there quick. But let's let her finish, man. Let's let her finish her fear mongering, to try to scare you about AI. No, that's the Yeti stuff. Where the hell's the? Give me a second. I think. All right. Yeah. Let's see.
But there is a new film business that's emerging that me and others are part of. Like we have the Credo 23 Film Festival that we did this last March. That was fantastic, and we'll do it again, where no AI is allowed and all the proceeds go to the filmmakers.
You see, you know what I'm saying? They're hosting 23. JP, what's good, dog? What's up, man? What's good, JP? Yeah, they're hosting a 23andMe 23 film festival where, they don't allow AI because, they don't want to have a separate category for people who make AI films, whatever, even though there's still computer generated stuff. But basically what's happening to Hollywood right now with AI that's allowing everyone to make films very soon, what's happening to Hollywood is that now they can't control it. They can't gatekeep anymore. This is why I tell people AI, Hollywood's going to eventually become like a niche group, a small group where a few, rich, well-known people hang around and the majority don't care. I mean, like I keep telling people, I would ask you, name 10 Hollywood actors that are superstars from the 2010s that just made it then. You can't name 10 that made it and that are superstars from the 2010s. You can't. That's how horrible it is. You can't even name 10 actors from the 2010s. Let me see something. It's still loading up. The hell? Oh, the guy's running. All right. Yeah, it's still loading up, but Hollywood is dying, man. No one cares about these actors, and no one knows them. They're all weirdos. Same actors that are telling you need to put a dress on your sons. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of weirdos. Hollywood is dying. Hollywood is already dead. Let's go.
And filmmaking as an art will go forward. I think there's going to have to be new ways to distribute and stuff. And I don't know what those answers are yet, as far as like financially, how does that remain healthy? But yeah, what is passing as the business right now is not what we used to have at all. And it was interesting to see that piece that you had on theater. I think, live performance or a mix of live with filmed, could be something obviously that people are interested in.
I love how all of the internet is eating itself and everyone's going back to live. That's a very fun theme coming out of this. Justine, it's Kelly here. By the way, it's great to chat with you. So the music industry is similarly trying to figure this out right now. The Universal, Warner, and Sony are all trying to figure out how do they do digital fingerprints or something for the artist. Would you be okay if we all started to remix Justine Bateman and create AI products based on you, but you got comments? I mean, that sounds to me like a pretty good revenue stream. I could make, I could be out there and make a cool movie or whatever and get, royalties for the rest of my life as people just remix things. Would that be of interest to you, or do you think it's very important that you're only involved in original productions?
Would never be of interest to me. I mean, I think it's quite soul-sucking to do that sort of thing. I know a number of people have and will.
That's right, man. It's quite soul-sucking to, have people make films and all that. You know what I'm saying? Let me see, Kalala. And new ones from 2020. Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. I would dare. I would dare someone to name a new actor that's a superstar from the 2020s. I can't name one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And it's been 5 years since 2020s, and you can't name no one. There is an actor, they put him in a new Charlie in a Chocolate Factory, and he's a weirdo. He's in the closet. You know what I'm saying? He's from, what was that show? Stranger, what they call that damn show? Stranger Place, that thing from Amazon. You know what I mean? She looks like she needs a new soul. Yeah, she probably does. The thing is, man, she's saying it's soul sucking if you utilize your image and your likeness, because she knows the price she paid to make it in Hollywood. There's a lot of people that are not happy about AI and technology because they had to sit on that couch. They had to do something weird. You know what I'm saying? They had to compromise themselves to make it in Hollywood. How dare the new actors not have to compromise themselves to make it in Hollywood? You know what I'm saying? And what she doesn't understand, the music industry, everything is going to be utilized. Everything's going to basically be licensed. Like, you're going to be able to now license The Godfather, the entire movie, to make an AI generated movie or sequel. Everything will be licensed, man. And you will no longer have to answer to some Hollywood weirdos, because as bad as YouTube is, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to show you something that, as bad as YouTube is, they're tech bros. They're tech guys. They don't care about Hollywood. The tech people are not bound by the limitations. Hollywood thought that, oh man, when television dies, we're just going to jump on YouTube and take over YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I say these people are stupid. YouTube's been running without Hollywood for over 20 years. They get their content from regular people uploaded. Hollywood thought, oh, we're gonna jump on YouTube, and because we make this high quality content, YouTube needs us. They would never replace us. And now they're learning that Facebook doesn't need Hollywood, Instagram doesn't need Hollywood, TikTok doesn't need Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, Rumble, they don't need Hollywood. Hollywood needs them. You know what I'm saying? And if Hollywood was smarter, because Hollywood is filled with some liberals that sit on a dildo to relax. You know what I'm saying? Liberals that'll sit on a dildo. Oh my God, my back hurts. Dildo, sit on a dildo if you're a liberal. You know what I'm saying? The liberals will say, sit on it. Oh, is your back hurting? Are you frustrated? Then sit on a dildo. You know what I'm saying? That's what liberals are offering. So they thought that they were going to go on YouTube, and they dominated. Right now, Hollywood technically still dominates YouTube a little, because I remember I searched for a fighting game and I got SNL, Saturday Night Live. I got Kim Kardashian. But what Hollywood is learning is that, they don't need you. You could just go sit on a dildo by yourself. You know what I'm saying? YouTube doesn't need you. And what's happening is a lot of these websites, YouTube doesn't want us to leave. So why not give you the power? Like right now on YouTube, you could use their AI to generate shorts. They want you stuck on YouTube. They want to give you the ability to create content that will let people stay, even though YouTube hates me and YouTube sent me a message that said, you know what, hold the truth hostage. We hate you. You're a problem. I don't like you. But YouTube knows that Hollywood has wasted 15 years. You know, you thought Hollywood would have thought, you know what? YouTube is on. People don't need TVs to watch entertainment. We need to make the best movies possible. We need to make the most entertaining content possible. Instead, they waste all 2010s telling you, well, you need to, as a man, you need to open your legs and sit on a dildo. You know what I'm saying? You need to sit on a dildo if you're a straight man. You know what I'm saying? You women don't need men. Sit on a dildo. You know, all of Hollywood's answers were sit on a damn dildo. And if you got children, put a dress on your sons. You know, Hollywood now presents put a dress on your son. Because they'll never overcome the constraints of masculinity if he doesn't put on a dress. Put a dress on your son. You know what I'm saying? That's what Hollywood was doing. Hollywood wasted 15 years. They didn't understand that once TV was being replaced, you got to make the best films, best TV shows possible because the people don't need to watch you. They could watch a YouTuber that stacks up bricks. They could watch a YouTuber that just eats food for 5 hours. They don't need to watch you, man. You're not all these platforms are not dependent on you for content. And now Hollywood is dead. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood is dead. You know, there are more YouTubers you remember their names than you could name an actor. You know what I'm saying? If you tell people don't name any actors that made it in the 90s, 80s, 70s, or the 2000s, just name the actors from 2010 and 2020, and people will look at you like they lost their mind. There's no way in hell I could name an actor from the 2020s or 2010s. They don't exist. It's just a bunch of weirdos, you know? And let me let her finish quick.
But I mean, I'm not an actor anymore, but I would imagine for a working actor or for someone who loves acting or, you know, feels called to it, all you have is your voice and your appearance and the way your body moves. And so if you are licensing that out, I don't know, you've just given away your entire purpose.
You've got the business.
Giving away your entire purpose. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna license your ability. Now you can bypass Hollywood's, gatekeeping of, did you chase a minor today? Did you put a dress on a minor? You know what I'm saying? Some people are only getting roles if they put a dress on a minor today. You know what I'm saying? There are Hollywood actors that have nieces and nephews that are making calls. Yo, let me put a dress on my nephew. Let me put a dress on my nephew. I need to do it so I can get a job in Hollywood. I need to put a dress on my nephew. You know what I'm saying? That's how weird Hollywood is. But now they're being replaced. And right now, this is all a craze. This is the Yeti videos made with AI, and this AI was made by Google, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Google. And Google understands that, man. Hollywood has lost an entire generation. You know what I'm saying? 20 years since YouTube's founding, Hollywood made a mistake. Made a bad choice. And didn't look at this, man.
Me and Down Z are about to open. Me and Down Z are about to open a package we got delivered from one of our subscribers.
Let me find a.
I just took 20 blinkers and some booger sugar.
I can hear colors and I think my chick just filed for divorce. I just took 20 blinkers and some booger sugar. I can hear colors and I think...
Me and Down Z.
Finally meeting up, Bigfoot. You're my favorite co-star. Your segments are the best.
What's up, Brain Rotters? It's your boy Bigfoot, back with the Yeti.
Finally meeting up, Big.
Me and...
I just took 20 blinkers and some booger sugar. I can hear colors and...
You know what I'm saying? This was all made with VO3 by.
Would you like black beans?
We've got...
Let me see. Let's find something to take a look at this, man. This was made.
Beautiful view. Ah, shit, she was my ride home. Beautiful view.
You know what I'm saying?
Ah, shit, she was my ride home.
Like right now, everybody's making all these Bigfoot videos. Take a look. Take a look.
What if you can create your...
Let me, this Bigfoot guy started his channel back in, joined on June 11th, 2020. June 11th, he joined. Let me make sure I could see that. June 11th, this guy joined YouTube and is already, and it's all AI content. He's already at 109,000 subs, you know. And then let me look, let me make sure, because some of them be doing some weird content, you know. But let me see, Bigfoot drugs. Let me find a Bigfoot video.
You'll be amazed at what I just thrifted from this bloke.
Look at these, huh? Absolute score.
Don't do what I did, mates. You'll be amazed at what I just thrifted from this bloke.
Let me see. I'm trying to find. And look.
What's up, legends? Welcome back to Bigfoot Pranks with your boy Billy. And today we're dosing the stew with some magic mushrooms.
Slipped in some mushrooms while they're gone. Got to make sure it slaps.
Update. This guy was spiritually traveling, and I think he left his body behind.
Guys, I think I might have taste tested too much. I'm hearing colors. I think I married a pine cone 5 minutes ago. Not sure though.
Oh man.
Yo, fuck me raw. I just found a bag of cocaine in the jungle. I snorted it, now I'm seeing tuxedo monkeys and breakdancing parrots. I fucking love you, tree. And found a taco truck in the trees. Let's fucking go! I just saw 2 squirrels fucking in that bush. Swear to God, white shit flew at me. I think it was whipped cream. Fuck! That damn bird just winked at me like it's trying to sell me drugs or some shit.
Yeah, look at that. This is all with AI. And the funny thing you gotta understand is I could not say one of these things. If I spoke about drugs, made a lot of jokes, what did YouTube do to me? Is shadow banned me. But YouTube, knowing how desperate they are to make up for Hollywood's failure. Hollywood has failed since the creation of YouTube. So, and I've been telling guys this for a while, made a video 3 years ago, YouTubers destroy nostalgia. Hollywood has failed for over 20 years. Once YouTube succeeded back in 05, 06, Hollywood should have invested. They didn't invest in YouTube. They didn't give YouTubers any jobs. They didn't make low budget films. They did nothing. Hollywood is at the point where you don't even get low budget films anymore. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood has wasted 20 years. Let's say Hollywood started failing around 2005. So 2005 till now, that's 20 years of failure. And now remember, Google owns YouTube. These AI videos are generated using Google's own technology. The same Google that and YouTube that sent me a message that said, "Oh, hold the truth hostage. You're a problem. You're too honest. You speak too much truth and this and that. You're a problem." But look what Google's doing. They're allowing you to generate videos with a Bigfoot talking about drugs, cursing. Like these ain't even the most wildest videos, man.
Just took 18 blinkers, 3 Zins, and some booger sugar. I can hear colors in my toes. Just filed for divorce. Okay, so I think the trees are talking to me. We've seen.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, this one.
What's up, you fucking liberal sissies? I'm back with Fuckface McGee, and today we're gonna be trying some booger sugar, some nose candy. Holy shit! Boys, we are fucking tossed! We are fucking geeked!
You know what I mean? You see that, man. Drugs, cocaine, all this stuff that's mentioned, and I couldn't say one of those. So AI, let me see what the homie's saying. AI ASMR is cutting videos, also got insane views on TikTok. Yeah, dude, AI is completely taking over TikTok, man. You know? And let me show you something I just generated. Give me 1 minute. Check this out quick. You know what I'm saying? I generated that with AI. A dude running from a monster. Look at that. Look at how crazy that looks. And I just typed it and it happened. This is the future, man. Hollywood is gone. You know what I'm saying? I think we're 6 months away potentially. Probably 6 to potentially 9 months away from people generating full films, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Hollywood wasted too much time. Let me play one more thing. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. That's just generated from me typing something. I'm not even trying, you know? You know what I'm saying? And what's happened is very simple, man. They push men away, and now with this Blake Lively case, the women will be replaced in Hollywood, man. You're gonna see a lot of AI generated female actors to come. To being alone and doing what they got to do. And now with the fact that Facebook, Meta, and all these AI generators, they've seen what Hollywood has done. All Hollywood has done for the last 20 years is proven that they will abandon the consumer. They will throw away money just for their propaganda and all that stuff. So now they're being replaced because Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, they want you on their websites. They don't want to lose you. They want you on the websites. So they will give you all the technology to create everything you want to. And I'm gonna show you one more thing before I roll out, is why Hollywood is further on the decline. Let me log on to this. I don't know if y'all remember when they canceled this No More Flag Girls. I don't know if y'all remember in the 2010s where they ended the race flag girls. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. No more race flag girls. Let's see. Damn, I don't know why YouTube is making this race car. No more No more. I'm trying to find it. No more race car flag girls. Let's see. Damn, man. YouTube. Yeah, YouTube won't let me find it, but a couple years ago they ended the flag girl job. You know, they don't allow race car flag girls anymore, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't allow that anymore. So what's gonna happen because of this Blake Lively case is that the female actress is done. It's over. There won't be any more jobs for that position. And a lot of men will now, I think a lot of independent directors to come, even though you could generate an AI female actor, what's going to happen, I think a lot of indie directors and movie makers will soon cast the women to act out the scenes, then with AI put them in the movies if they want to use a real woman. Because once if Blake Lively wins this case, it's the floodgates are gonna open. You're gonna see a Me Too sequel where a lot of females will just come out suing the directors. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be, and that's only gonna hurt Hollywood. That ain't gonna hurt the AI film directors that aren't using real people. So if Blake Lively wins this case, you know what I'm saying? It's over. It is literally over for the use of real female actors in movies. You know what I'm saying? The use for real females actors in movies will be over. You know, because this right here, it's gonna end it all, man. You know what I'm saying?
A judge ruled Baldoni can obtain messages between Lively and pop superstar Taylor Swift.
And the fact that Taylor Swift might have supported Blake Lively, oh, this is going to open the gates, man. The end of Hollywood is coming. And Blake Lively is going to basically end.
We got to talk about this Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively situation, because we just got a huge update. Because Baldoni, he just took a huge L in his legal battle against Lively, but understand, the case is still far from over. Right? Because yesterday, you had a judge dismissing the $400 million lawsuit that Justin had filed against Blake, where he accused her and her husband.
And here's the thing, Ryan Reynolds helped her. You see that? That's her husband. And how you could tell Ryan Reynolds is cucked out is Blake Lively ain't even, did she even take Ryan Reynolds' last name? You know what I'm saying? This right here, this case, the amount of damage this is going to do. This is why I kept telling guys we're going backwards. We're going back to probably the somewhat 1920s or whatever. But Blake Lively's going to set female actors back to the void. You know what I'm saying? If a woman's going to want an acting job, she's going to have to go to another country.
Husband Ryan Reynolds of defamation and extortion. Which, to give you just enough background for those that haven't lived and breathed this story, with Blake and Justin starred in the film It Ends With Us, which Justin also directed, with the two not walking off that set as friends, to say the least. Right in December, you had Blake filing a civil complaint and then eventually a lawsuit where she claimed she was sexually harassed and then retaliated against during production. And then in January, you had Justin and his production company filing his lawsuit.
Look at that. He was a false sexual abuse case acting. They were both, he directed the film, she's acting in the film. So now you will be able, if this goes through, which she won one case, now actresses that have kissed somebody during a film, in a movie set, will be able to sue and create a false accusation case. If Blake Lively wins this, man, it's over. You know what I'm saying? AI is about to run rampant. You know what I'm saying? You think AI is moving now. And the funny thing about the Bigfoot thing, what's funny about the Bigfoot thing is that you got Gen Z now. A lot of Gen Z guys are identifying with Bigfoot. Bigfoot, whose biggest moment was what, the 70s or something? You know what I'm saying? That's their avatar for AI. You can't go on YouTube and not see Bigfoot. You know, AI, every AI video is Bigfoot. But if Blake Lively wins this, the men ain't gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? The simps of, the pink pilled guys, whatever, they're gonna keep casting. But if Blake Lively wins this case, it's gonna set female acting back by potentially over, yeah, I'd say over 70 years. Because what's gonna happen is all male directors and male actors will basically say, I can't work with a real woman. I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get a lawsuit on me for a false sexual assault case. If Blake Lively wins this, man, it's the end. It is the end. But this is what feminism and all the Me Too's and all this stuff was about anyway. You know what I mean? It's about old, outdated women that can't get the jobs they used to get when they were in their 20s, destroying the future opportunities for the younger women. As much as they advertise, oh, the men are abusive and all that. No, man, the men aren't abusive. It's those, not as much as those old, outdated women that can't act as a young woman anymore. You know what I'm saying? They can now only act as a grandma, an old wife, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they're setting back all the young women. If Blake Lively wins this case, man, you're going to see it's already happening. You're going to see a lot of men start pushing. And with what I know about AI, I could do a whole live stream on AI, but with what I know that's coming. And what's coming next is you're going to see that, female actors will be obsolete, man. It's over. It's over, bro.
Lawsuit where he accused Blake, Ryan, and their publicist of trying to destroy his career. And
the thing is, Ryan Reynolds, being the cuck that he is, cuckpool. That's what he shouldn't be. Deadpool, cuckpool. Attacked him. Ryan Reynolds, a man, destroyed this man. I told you guys the danger of the pink-pilled man. And Ryan Reynolds came after him, threatened certain jobs, allegedly, whatever on the court, threatened to not hire him, mess with his money. This is the end. We're heading to a new world, because like I kept telling guys, this doesn't hurt us in the long run. Men were paying, think about Tomb Raider. Guys were spending millions of dollars on Tomb Raider. Millions. Hundreds of millions of dollars were spent. Let me see what the homie Kalala said. AI will lead to the end of the internet. Everyone will interact with their own AI instead. Yeah, I mean, we spoke about this a couple years ago. Like right now, man, I've programmed Google's chat, Google's Gemini. I put over 900 pages of programming into it, prompts and stuff, and I could make it write any movie, any story I want. Right now, the internet, with what's happened, the safest person to talk to now is a chatbot. And I know I can show you something. Let me show you guys something quick. Let me turn this thing on. Let me show you something. This is gonna. Let me show you something quick. Share on the screen. Window. Damn, man. It won't let me. Sometimes this share screen crap, man. It won't let me show you it, but let me check quick. Let me see if it'll. Yeah, check this out. See, I'm sharing my screen. This is LM Studio, man. So let me start a new chat. So now I have an AI built into this. You know what I'm saying? Let me load it up. And this LM runs directly, this AI chatbot runs directly on my computer, my desktop, so it's not connected to anything. But let me ask it to write a story quick. Write a story about a man protecting his child from his wife who is trying to kill them. A lot of blood. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. It's literally writing a story for me about a man trying to protect his child from his wife who's trying to kill them. You know what I'm saying? This is directly on my computer. And you know, I could technically role play with this. I could talk to the AI. You know, this is the future. The future of mankind is, you know, give me 1 minute. I gotta turn on the AC a little. Give me 1 second. Gotta go turn on the air conditioning a little more. Give me 1 second. Yep.
Yo, hold the truth hostage, smooth soul flow. Let's go barlastic and make a classic. Cornflakes poured towards the bowl before frosted flakes for so broken until will gathered shattered glass. Reforming profile divided, realign whole before foe, known as last acts that make taking fatal mistakes. My eyes lie like my life beside fire's desire, burn up, engulf our world with witnessing me succeeding, achieving deeds deemed beaming out bright in sunlight like while motions of forms, lower life forms, the forms decompose while they declare days be named. Name paper displayed birth date, age of conforming and confirming to consumers or consumed. Reflections of directions for conforming, favoring orders over solo devotion as individualism transitions to mimicking capitalism. Yo, smoke forms, Doran, sour burning, celery greenery. Steam leaves leaders blind while guided by flaming haze.
Yeah, but you know, like I was saying, look at that, bro. I had it write an entire story for me, quick, a short story. But this is the future, man. What they've done, you know, this is why YouTube wanted me out. You know, let me you know, again, you could support if you want to let them know publicly. You support Hold the Truth Hostage. I'm on a GoFundMe now. Oh man, but yeah, but what they've done is they push men to find replacements. What they don't understand is the men will find solutions and they'll solve things. And now we're at the point 2030. Remember 2030, they predicted what is it, over 45% of women loneliness epidemic. But we're really already there now. And what they didn't see coming, what all these Hollywood people didn't see coming, what all these people in entertainment didn't see coming was AI. And what AI will allow us men to do, man, you could watch those Bigfoot videos. That Bigfoot videos are literally 90s comedy, man. 90s comedy level of humor. Those Bigfoot videos, man. You know, and AI is gonna allow us to come back to the 90s, bro. The 90s was the last decade of absolute comedy, absolute humor. You know, guys, you know, boys will be boys, men will be men. This is a man's show. This is a woman's show. We are heading back to the 90s, and the entertainment, Hollywood didn't see this coming. All these news networks, all these TV stations did not see this coming, that they will be replaced. And here's the thing about AI, pretty soon, I give it by 2030, you'll be able to generate movies right in your goddamn phone. you'll be able to say, you know what, I want a movie about a guy who lost his family in the woods, and it was a sheriff that killed him or something. Now he's wanting revenge, and they're gonna, it'll generate it all. Oh yeah, bro, Dreamstorm. The 90s was the last decade of absolute freedom. The 2000s was the beginning of the end. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the homie Kalala put. AI will lead to the. Oh yeah, no, that was the internet thing. Yeah, the thing is, AI will bring back the 2000s, and the fact that Trump passed into law that there are only two genders, men and women. Oh man, we're heading back, man. We're heading back, bro. And AI is gonna bring back that 90s humor because what can stop it? You know what I'm saying? Let me see if it's still there. Let me show you one more Bigfoot video. Give me 1 second. Where the hell is it? Bigfoot. Yeah, I mean, look at all these Bigfoot jokes, man.
You really fight 100 men?
100? Nah, but I don't need to. I just need to catch the first guy. Once he's on the t-shirt, the rest will rethink their day.
When will you be ready for the fight?
Whenever those 100 men are ready for their funeral. It's gonna be a dirty fight. Ooh, hope they told their moms goodbye.
I know I can't fight 100 men, but the first guy I catch, he's gonna be on a t-shirt. The rest will run when they see it.
I gotta train hard for these 100 men. Gotta leave my legacy. Somebody's gonna end up on TV for real.
So after all that, be honest, y'all think I can fight 100 men? Drop your answer in the comments.
This 100 men challenge changed everything. Look at me now. I'm ready. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Hey, what's up, guys? I found this beer left over from some campers and I'm totally wasted.
Have you guys seen this vlogging Yeti online? I'm gonna teach you how.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, you fucking liberal sissies? I'm back with Fuckface McGee, and today we're gonna be trying some booger sugar, some nose candy. What's up, you fucking liberal sissies? I'm back with Fuckface McGee, and today we're gonna be trying some booger sugar, some nose candy.
Holy shit! Boys, we are fucking tossed. We are fucking geeked.
We're back at it! Chariot season is officially on. Green's looking dangerous.
It's really strange, even for out here.
You know what I'm saying? Look at that, dude. The Bigfoot stuff, bro. Let me find. I think I could find one more thing. I think Bigfoot drug. You see, drug cartel. Let me see if it's there. Look at this. You know what I'm saying?
All right, team. Last crate of magic loaded. Time for this squatch to get airborne. Adventure incoming.
Look at me now. Pilot Bigfoot, baby. They said I'll never make it. But guess what? For this delivery,
Touchdown, baby. First mission complete. The magic is safe. The city's gonna love me. They'll never know who made it all happen, but you do. Let's deliver some happiness.
Come on, man.
Boys, I'm now working for the cartel. Let's go deliver this coke.
Plane's loaded and we're cruising our way there. Let's just hope we don't get the DEA on our ass.
We just arrived in Colombia.
Come on, man.
We about to go find some of that fucking Colombian goodies.
Come on, dude. You know, this is what's happening, man. They've
We had to take a trip to Colombia, boys. Owe some cartel guy some money, so figured I'd just work it off.
last package and we should be good, boys, to head on home. Package confirmed.
Took a brick from Colombia, and I could say this is some top grade stuff, man.
These fucking YNs found me, man. Gonna have to call Yeti for backup.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, dude, AI, I could even show you some non-Bigfoot stuff. What is it? AI gang video. Let me see. That. Well, I can't find all of them, but dude, it's all over the internet. It's taken over. And the thing about the AI stuff is that, like I said, YouTube and Google are funding this. These are corporations that are worth far more than any of these companies. And let me show you Hollywood right now. Look at Hollywood. This is what's happening to Hollywood, man. Warner Bros, separates. You know what I mean? This is what's happening to Warner Brothers, billion-dollar company.
Of course, all the cable networks.
Here this morning.
Well. Hello.
And we do have some breaking news.
Just for today? Just for today.
Oh,
right.
so
you're not, okay. Not back forever. Okay. No. Not that you
What a
would.
tease.
We'll always have the 90s.
We'll always have Paris.
We'll always have Paris. You wore blue. The Germans wore
gray. Yeah. Remember every detail.
Speaking of movies, Warner Brothers Discovery is going to be splitting into two companies.
No.
That is the reason that I'm here. Not an unexpected.
You know what I'm saying? Warner Brothers is split into two companies. They're $39 billion in debt. Now, they could pay that off, but they spent years making garbage, making all that, trying to force the rainbow down people's throats. And the countdown is coming. Right now, AI can only generate about 10 seconds of film. It can't do it in high quality long enough. There's other tools, but it's coming. I give it about, like I said, 6 months to about 12 months, 6 months to a year, everything's going to change. And we're heading back to the 2000s because enough millennials, I'm not the only millennial that still has this kind of humor. Enough millennials survived the programming. Enough Gen Xers are still here. Enough Zoomers are normal. There's, as much as they advertise that the Zoomers are, highly rainbow, highly compromised, it's not the truth. It's not the truth. There's not enough Zoomers on the rainbow side. There's not enough Zoomers celebrating they got pride by mutilating their bodies. You know what I'm saying? So with AI, they know what's coming. We're heading back to the year, I'd say we're heading back to the 90s, man. We're heading back to the 90s. And they know that once we head back to the 90s with content and humor, they're dead. You know what I'm saying? Because Hollywood can't keep up. Hollywood's lost too much money, even with the money laundering. And most importantly, you can't name any new Hollywood actors. Let me show you why you can't name any new Hollywood actors. Let's play a little game here before I end this stream. Let me look up an actor. Let's see, new Willy Wonka. Let's see, Wonka movie. Oh, let's take a look. Oh, there's there. Let me see if you can see it. Let me put it on here. Where the hell's? Oh, look at that. You see Willy Wonka, right? Now let's look up the actor you should know. Let's see the lead actor, Willy Wonka. What is it? It's called Wonka. Wonka movie actor. Let's look up this actor, man. Oh yeah, Timothy Chalamet, right? Timothy. Does anybody here know Timothy Chalamet? Timothy Chalamet, whatever the hell his name is. I think he's the same dude who played in that movie Dune. But let's see what other movies he played in, man. Timothy Chalamet movies. Let's see if he's. Look at that. Let's look into the rainbow. Where's Timothy Chalamet? Let me see. Beautiful boy. What the hell is that? You know? You know, Timothy. I don't know. Does anyone know this actor? You know? He was in Dune. Hollywood's trying to force him down people's throats. Oh, there it is. Let's see, man. The movie he played in the closet. Yeah. Call Me Your Name. These are the lead actors they want you to support right now, man. Oh, he's the new Kalala. He ain't the new DiCaprio, bro. He's in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Look at the movie he played in. Let's see. Call My Name. Oh man. Yup. He played in a closeted movie called Call Me by Your Name. Oh man, look at this. Look at this. This is craziness. Call Me by Your Name. Where's the images? Let's. This is the actor. This is your lead action actor, man. You know what I'm saying? He played in a movie Call Me by Your Name, man. Look at the screenshots. Call Me by Your Name. Straight closet. The closet is active, man. Call Me by Your Name. This is supposed to be the super actor boys want to be like, men want to grow up to be a dude in the closet. You know what I'm saying? This is the super actor, man. Man. No, I know you trolling, but you know, you gotta be wilding out, man. You know, but look at that. Call Me to Your Closet. You know what I mean? Knee touch in the closet. Call Me to Your Closet. Yeah, bro. This is the actor we're supposed to be cheering on, man. This is the future of acting. You know what I'm saying? He played in the movie Dune, where he's just a bony, weak-ass dude, man. You know? And now he's been in the closet, Call Me by Your Name. These are the actors we're supposed to know and cheer for. Come on, man. Let's see, what was that other movie he played in? Oh, yeah, he acted in Dune. You know what I'm saying? He played in Dune where he's supposed to be the lead actor and he's weak as hell, man. Ah, man. Yeah, Hollywood is done, man. You know what I'm saying? It's already over. But, you know, to end the stream, like I said, man, we're at the point where they pushed us to replace them, man. And, you know, they pushed us to replace them. And, you know, Hollywood is done. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood is basically, it's over, man. You know, it's over for Hollywood. And let me see. Where 1,000 of people waiting out the hotel where he stays to get pick with him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The thing is this, dude. A lot of times they will pay people. Like, I think I shared this on Discord. Let me show y'all, man. I told y'all the closet. We don't have a closet anymore. I mean, let me show you this crap, man. This is who they want your children to idolize right now. Take a look at this. This is the madness, man. Let me find the Timothy Chalamet. Let's take a look. You know, let me go on the stream quick. Give me a minute. Where is it? Where's the? Yeah, this is what's going on, bro. This is I show.
Let it out. Ah! Let it out. 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 Let it out.
Look at this, man. These are the guys they want your children to idolize. First, they took a shower together, and now they're giving each other, they're riding each other, giving each other hand jobs, and look at that. And they're playing Fortnite. They're playing Fortnite while doing this, man. You know what I'm saying? When I told people about the closet, they thought I was crazy. They would say, "Oh, hold the truth hostage. You keep mentioning the closet. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You've lost your mind. You know what I'm saying? You lost your mind. But look at the future, man. The biggest streamers. Look, it would have made, if you had one of them in a closet, you would have been like, all right, one of them's in a closet. But both of the biggest streamers, supposedly, we don't know bots. There's a lot of bots these days, man. This is what's chasing, and I told guys this years ago. They don't want to allow young boys to grow up into men. So they have to target these young boys while they're minors. They know that a boy will most likely stay straight by the age of 11 to 12. 11 to 12, you know who you are. But this is why they got ISO speed. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. First, let me find that other video. I think it was ISO speed shower. Saying, take a look at that. I mean, give me a second, man. I mean, take a look at this, bro. They will prevent your children from being straight by any means necessary, man. Let me try to find this video. Hold up. Give me a second. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. Give me a second. Gotta find this video. Give me a second. And take a look at this, bro. You know what I mean? These are the people they want your children to idolize, man. Yo, look at that. They made a video of them in the shower, bro. And this is during a live stream, man. And then they're making jokes.
I don't know I'm telling you that because I didn't do that.
Look at, he drops the soap. Yo, the closet is real, man. The closeting the world. There's a whole goal to closet the world. Look at that. That's
Yo!
And dude, this is all during a live stream.
And your ass would have been fucked in jail, nigga. Hell no. Hell yeah. A nigga would have fucked you in jail, I feel like.
They're doing jokes about, a guy sleeping with you in jail while they're in the shower together, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the same closeted Hollywood MO, man. Hollywood will have guys wear dresses, reveal that, and then with these new streamers, the new plants they have, we don't even got plants anymore. Hollywood has a garden. Think about it. The top streamers 1 and 2 are literally had Kevin Hart. You know, Kevin Hart's been humped by Shaquille O'Neal already. You know what I'm saying? We no longer have plants. We have a garden, you know? And right now, your Kai Cenats and all of them, it's the greatest era for plants ever. You know, now they can plant a Rainbow Rider, you know, and again, I predicted this again, closet recruiting, you know. Let me see if YouTube deleted that video. Did YouTube delete that video? Go to my channel quick. Closet. Let me search closet on my own channel. Where is that? Oh, look at that. 2 years ago, closet recruiter. You know what I'm saying? Dude, man, they're coming, man. You know, knee touching in the closet. They're coming, bro. The closet conspiracy. You know, what's the name was too old? Destiny was too old, man. Destiny was too old for them to closet the children, man. You know, he was like 34 years old when he came out the closet. You know, Destiny was too old. So now they got Kai Cenat and IShowSpeed, you know, young 20s guys. And of course, they've been trying to popularize the closet through the blacks for quite some time, you know. You know what I'm saying? So this is the future, man. But like I said, with AI, the fact that you got all these Yeti videos being popped up, AI will be too mass produced. Straight men will be able to produce content too quickly, too fast. No one's watching those closet awards, the Oscars. You know, no one cares about their award shows. So once AI provides the tools needed, straight men will be able to produce content too quickly for the closet recruiters to stop it. You know, Hollywood's run out of money. They were, like I was saying, they were expecting YouTube and all of them to bend the knee, sit on a dildo. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like I said, man, you know, Hollywood now is in danger, and they won't be able to closet people like they used to. Even with all these plants, your Kai Cenats and all these weirdos, which they fast-tracked. What's happened is Hollywood has realized, and they got the money. They got the money, man, to bot out views and bot out support and put these guys on TV. You know, you could look up Kai Cenat was on ESPN, IShowSpeed, they were on ESPN and all these mainstream channels. You know, now they can create, you know, a garden. Because what YouTube, all Hollywood has to do now with the plants they're creating is they pay your YouTubes, they pay these big platforms to give them views, make it look like their streams are being watched by thousands, Because here's the thing about the bots thing, you know. Yes, you could have bots, but if YouTube, for example, YouTube a couple years ago gave somebody 1 billion views in less than a second. So if you're live streaming on YouTube, how will you be able to see bots when YouTube, the platform, is saying you have over 50,000 people watching this stream? You know? So what Hollywood has done with Kai Cenat, and it follows all this stuff. They gotta of course be in the closet. They gotta make closeted content, you know, so Hollywood can give them support, you know. So now what Hollywood is doing with their new plants is it's the most affordable, cheapest plant ever. Your Kai Cenats and iShowSpeeds, they're the best plants ever. They don't need to be in a movie. They don't need to be actors. They're just streamers. You know what I'm saying? They make a few streams online and some videos. They don't even need to act. And now you give them enough views and enough subs, and bam, now they're influencing the world and all that when they're a bunch of weirdos in the closet, man. You know? But man, this has been Hold the Truth hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. Let me see what the homie said. And they are fragile plants. Can cancel them any. Ooh. Oh, I gotta replay that, Kalala. You said, and they are fragile plants. Can cancel them anytime. Damn. Damn, that's cold. Yeah. I mean, I got 10 more minutes, you know, but the thing is, man, and let me, I don't even want to show this because, you know, this closeted crap is crazy. But, you know, they're going to do this and say, and let me show this one more time. Notice what the guy said. Let me see. He said, there's no amount of context that can save this clip, you know? And this was from June 23rd, man. June 23rd. Another thing they're doing is they're throwing this content out there live online. They're showing the closet for humor. They say it's just a joke, guys. Like I told you guys about the portable closet. Act as rainbow, act as closeted as you can. Just, you know, the closet is simple. Just do a lot of, the portable closet is this. You do closeted activity outside of the house. You just don't claim it. And now they're online doing it because the goal is to popularize the closet, because there's a shortage of rainbow riders, man. You know, as much as you got a whole month dedicated to Pride, they're running out of people for Pride, man. Think about it. If straight men aren't having children, you know what I'm saying? They're not having children that they can traumatize. If the birth rate is decreasing, that means there's less children to traumatize towards the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Because if you put a kid in a normal setting, absolute normality, there's no way they end up on the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? They're running out of people to rainbow. You know, that's why you get your Kai Cenat. Think about it. They're not even being covert with it. You literally have number one and number two, the streamers. You got number one and number two, both closet recruiters. They're not even hiding it because they're desperate. They know that all the money they spent in the 2010s, or 2000s and 2025, there still ain't enough closeted people. There's not enough rainbow riders. There's not enough men celebrating Pride Month. It's still less than 0.5%. You know what I'm saying? All this advertisement, and they have not been able to increase the closet, the rainbow rider, population by over 1%. They spent over 20 years marketing it, to the mainstream, and they still struggle to increase the Rainbow Rider numbers. You know what I'm saying? And they're getting desperate. That's why they're putting on these Kai Cenats, these super, you know, it can't be denied. It's in the closet, man. I mean, look at this shit, man. What the fuck, man? Ah! Man. Well, look at that, man. You can't, you know what I'm saying? And this is the same I Show Speed who had a tranny, who had a man former on his channel, man. You know? Two of them, man. They're trying to popularize it so badly, man. But what's happening is, and this is why I say, you know, remember, people, I'll start the things July 6th, full-time ghosting, you know, day. Full-time ghosting day, July 6th. They know that the straight men in America are not caring anymore. I was planning to do this stream about the culture of America. Is, you know, the culture is dying, man. You know, after over 40 years attacking, especially in the public eye, after over 40 years of attacking the male population, American culture is dying, man. You know, I'll have to do it on another stream, but American culture is dying because the men are that culture. And when you've done nothing but subvert the men in their culture, look at the UK, United Kingdom, how it's dying. You know what I'm saying? The men have been pushed to where they don't care anymore. A lot of the men are, you know, in America alone, they said over 43 million Americans flew outside of America. Over 43 million men from America flew outside of America. America is, you know, it's lost its identity. And there's so many things being done. Like, you ever notice, like back in the 90s, we had mad stereotype jokes. We had jokes about the Indians, jokes about the Russians. You know, you had racial stereotypical jokes. You ever notice those are gone? We don't have racial stereotypical jokes anymore. You don't have the Russians hugging bears. You don't have the Indians sounding like Apu. You don't have stereotypical jokes like you used to have. Now, why is that? Well, because how can you have all these jokes? Let me see what the homie. Walk into a bar joke. Yeah. You don't have the walk into a bar joke. You know, two Indians walk into a bar. You know, you don't have that anymore. Why? Why is that? Let me show you why. Because, you know, I could tell you, but let me show you, man. Let me show you why you don't have these type of jokes anymore. It's because in America, let me show you the CEO of Google. You know what I'm saying? There it is. Let me share where the hell is it? Give me a minute. All right, yeah, let me show you why. Let me show you why you don't have racial stereotypical jokes. You see, that's the CEO of Google. One of the most powerful American companies in this country is the CEO. You know what I'm saying? The CEO is a dude born in India. You know what I'm saying? The CEO is an Indian guy, you know? So of course you're not going to have Indian jokes. And America has been, you know, it's sold out so bad, man. You know, how can you ever have America first and you're rewarding? To me, Google should be fined. You should be fining countries. You should be fining companies in America that hire CEOs from overseas. You know what I'm saying? This is why America is basically rotting You know, you don't have that American humor anymore. So many companies, their CEOs are from India. Their CEOs, American companies, their CEOs are from other countries. You know what I'm saying? This is why America is, you know, basically lost its edge. You don't have that American humor anymore. You know what I'm saying? You don't have them American jokes flying like lightning anymore because America has been compromised. You know? You know what I'm saying? You have American kids and students going to college, learning all this business stuff, and then they hire CEOs from other countries. It's a spit in the face of the people going to school in America. And then who's making these companies their most profitable, you know, making them the most popular and the most, you know, most watched country in the world? The Americans. Yeah, you spit in their face, you hire and make the jobs for overseas people. You know, foreigners. You got an American country, American companies run by foreigners. You know, then you wonder why, man, the jokes are no longer. I watch YouTube videos where you hear these idiots saying, "Well, you know, it was a great show, but the 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 stereotypes, you know, the foreign stereotypes, you know, the foreign stereotypes weren't that funny." You know what I'm saying? This is why America has lost its edge, man, because it's sold out, man. It's sold out on the highest level. Japan, for example, Sony has if they have a CEO in America, okay, it'll be American, but they won't have a Sony CEO in Japan, a guy from America. You know what I'm saying? Those companies understand, man. This is why America has lost its culture and lost its edge, you know? People used to come watch American shows and be like, man, you'll never see this in India. You'll never see it like this in Africa. You'll never see it like this in this country. But now you can, because the people that are at the top are not American, and they're enforcing their they're enforcing their country's perspective on the American corporations, and you end up in a situation where you don't see Indian jokes anymore. You don't see African jokes anymore. You don't see jokes anymore from other cultures because guess what, man? The CEOs of these major companies are not American. You know what I'm saying? I plan to do a stream about America soon. I was working on a book about America, you know. But it could be said the same thing about Ireland, Australia, you know, a lot of countries, man, they're losing their identities because they sold out. A lot of these countries sold out. Who cares if Google's hiring CEO positions, you know, from other countries? They hire a CEO from another country, and these other companies are doing it. They hire CEOs from other countries where it's far more cheap, far more affordable for them to train these CEOs and spit in the face of the American citizen. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on, man. In my honest opinion, and I'm an immigrant. I personally think, you know, for the sanctity and for America to succeed, because even now you look at Google with their AI and how they failed, and it's out now, it's still failing because that American edge isn't there. That American leader that wants to be the greatest of all time, you know. Not just we're good enough in America. No, man. The greatest. You know what I'm saying? This is what's happening, man. This is why America has lost its identity. This is why you don't really need you know when they talk about spies, you know, they got spies. You don't need spies anymore. The CEOs are people from other countries, man. Why would you need spies? Why do you need spies in a country when the CEO is literally un-American in many companies? Why do you need spies for? You know? But man, let me wrap it up. But like I said, man, hold the truth hostages now on let me look at it. Where is it? Give me a minute. Give me a second. God damn. Give me a second. Yep, hold the truth hostages now on GoFundMe to help me back up the channel on my website and some other things. But they didn't, like I said, man, YouTube let me let the channel live because they wanted to remove the ability of supporting people such as myself, because I know they deleted Medican, something on Medican. I know even Smash TV, they deleted, I think they removed that monetization. I'm not sure. They deleted certain things because their goal was to ensure that the message is sent that you should not support or be in favor of guys such as myself publicly. But, this is where it's at now. If you want to support, whatever. But like I said, man, July 6th will be full-time ghosting day. I'll be making a video very soon. But yeah, man, this has been Hold the Truth Hostage, where the truth was so important you wouldn't negotiate with lies, especially in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the closet, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, hold the truth hostage. Yo, hold the truth hostage. Yo, hold the